Hello, everybody, and welcome into Delta Dental Park at Hadlock Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Perry Ketai. Finally, opening day. Delayed about 40 minutes, but Perry, we welcome you into the broadcast team for this 2026 season. And like any new broadcast assistant, you're welcomed with snow-opening day. It snowed for the majority of the season, or majority of the day.
It was gorgeous, Emma. It looked like a snow globe out here, but I am very glad that it cleared up in time for us to play some baseball today.
Absolutely, and the Sea Dogs coming off a really good win on Saturday, 1-0 shutout win over the Somerset Patriots, coming with that 1-1 record, looking to just build upon that performance on Saturday.
The bullpen, the starting pitching was phenomenal on Saturday. Friday, definitely a day to forget about for the pitching staff. What's been the issue, though, for Portland so far has been the inconsistency in the hitting lineup.
Absolutely, and the cold weather certainly does not help, but today the Sea Dogs turn to the reigning Portland Pitcher of the Year, the lefty, and Hayden Mullins. Mullins has a lot of veteran presence on the mound right now, but he was just locked in all last season for the Sea Dogs.
The name of the game for Hayden Mullins last year was consistency. He pitched the most innings. He had the most strikeouts. He was tied for the most wins on the team. Top to bottom, he represented consistency for the Sea Dogs, and that's what they need out of him in the start today.
Absolutely. And so Portland comes out and has the following lineup, or rather the defense behind him. It will be Max Ferguson at first base with Tyler McDonough at second, Abram Liendo at third, and Marvin Alcantara, the shortstop. Nate Baez is behind the plate catching for Mullins. And then in the outfield, it is Turner in left, Blaze in center, and Nelly Taylor in right field. And despite the snow, and again, snowed for the majority of the day, but the tarp was off, and we still have quite a good showing of Mainers here. Not afraid of the cold weather. We certainly saw our share of enough snow, I would say, over the winter. It seemed like a snowier winter than most past years, so we are all set to get underway as Mullins will face Eddie Micheletti Jr., Jace Borfin, and Jackson Hornig to start this one off. A lot of face coverings, though. It is a little chilly, but not too windy.
Definitely cold out here. It'll be cold the rest of the week as well, but there is some sun in the forecast, which many of these players, I'm sure, are looking forward to.
Hayden Mullins kicks off a little bit of the dirt off the bottom of his cleats, dusts off the pitching rubber, and takes a look behind him as Eddie Micheletti Jr. steps in. Left-handed batter's box, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Mullins goes high and inside for the first pitch of 2026 here at Delta Dental Park. First pitch delivered at 4:46. And just a crisp 37 degrees. Here's the 0-1. And it misses low and outside for ball one. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Micheletti Jr., though, probably a little familiar with the cold out of Wilmington, Delaware. Mullins rocks and fires the 1-1. Called strike on the high and outside corner. Micheletti Jr. steps out of the box, kind of shaking his head a little bit. Hops back in, slightly open stance on the left side. Infield shifted to the right. The 1-2. Just misses high and outside, and the count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Micheletti shaking his head earlier with that ball coming out of such a high arm slot from Mullins. There's a lot of vertical break on it, and it just caught that top of the zone. Micheletti disagreed.
Mullins will try again. Here's another 2-2. There it is, called strike 3. Freezes Micheletti Jr. Fans the first batter he faces, and here comes Jace Borfin.
Very well placed on that lower part of the zone. Completely froze the batter.
Good amount of lefties in the lineup for New Hampshire. 5 in the lineup to face Mullins. Here's the first pitch. Big wave and a miss. Jason low and outside. Mullins can rely on that fastball a good amount of times, but it's his off speed that can really induce a lot of swings and misses. The 0-1. Called strike 2.
Mullins just hammering the zone early, mixing up the pitches, but forcing the batters to stay aggressive early in these counts.
Head in the count early, no balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty, scoreless in the top of the first. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Baez applies the tag. And it's 2 up, 2 down for Hayden Mullins. Gives his catcher a little bit of a clap on the mound. And that's another Hedstrom Electric strikeout cancer in kids. Here's Jackson Hornick. So one looking, one swinging. And this will be the first right-hander that Mullins has faced. He sets up on the third base side of the rubber, rocks and deals. First pitch. Called strike. And Mullins works really quickly as the 0-1 pitch. Called strike on the inside part of the plate.
Clearly this delay had nothing on the preparation for Hayden Mullins. He is on top of it right now.
Gives Baez a nod. Here's the 0-2. Just misses upstairs for ball one. And Mullins historically has had success against New Hampshire, had an immaculate inning against the Fisher Cats last season. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Hayden Mullins picks.
Who's got time to make content? With Canva, it's easy. I just pick my clips, 2, 3, and it cooks up a video before the water's boiled. Yes! Try Canva Video today.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings. This ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead. The next pitch. Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller Line landing. 2 at-bats tonight, 2 home runs, driving in 5.
Alternate identities are always great because it just adds a new layer.
When you talk about Rochester, our most famous cuisine is the garbage plate. It became so popular that Thursdays are for the plates in Rochester.
The first alternate identity that we had was the Albuquerque green chili cheeseburgers.
So that's what makes minor league baseball great. We have an amazing ability to get in touch with our community.
If you were to find a jersey, or if you swap a jersey, one of the players on the National League, who would it be? Who would you pick?
Okay, so I got an Ohtani jersey last year, so...
Nice.
From comprehensive technology services to hands-on expert support, our experienced IT team is here to keep things steady.
Marvin Alcantara and Nate Baez to face the right-hander in Fernando Perez. Arias, number 2 prospect in the Red Sox system behind Peyton Tolley. Here's the first pitch. High and inside, and it got Arias, I think, on that left shoulder. Seems to be all right. Immediately takes off the protective gear and jogs down the first base line. But I mentioned at first pitch, the temperature 37 degrees. Perez might had some difficulty gripping that baseball and just got away from him as Alcantara steps in on the right side.
On the right side for Portland, they've got a leadoff base runner in the first inning.
Hornick playing in front of the bag, trying to hold on Arias as the first pitch just misses outside for ball 1 to Alcantara. Now Perez right now listed as the number 18 prospect in Toronto's system. Kicks and delivers the 1-0, and he taps it foul third base side. Perez, 6'3", 170 pounds, 22 years old, out of Nicaragua. Signed with Toronto back in January of 2022. He comes set. Arias leading off the first base bag. 1-1. High and inside again as Alcantara leans back out of the way of it. And Marvin Alcantara sort of made a name for himself last season, just 21 years old this year at Double-A. The 2-1 is bounced to the third base side. Keys tosses to second for 1, on to first, and it's over the head of the first baseman Hornick. Marvin Alcantara reaches on the overthrow as the Fisher Cats trying to turn 2. They get 1 out with Franklin Arias with the forced out, and Marvin Alcantara takes his place at first.
Off the bat, looked like it might sneak up that third baseline, but instead just lost some speed. And Sean Keys was able to make that play over to second. Alcantara's speed, though, something he's known for, he beat that out regardless of that error.
As Baez steps in on the right side, and that's one of the aspects, many aspects of Alcantara's game that made him a name to watch last season and looking to build upon it this year. Here's the first pitch. Called strike on the low and outside corner. Baez doing the catching today and made his season debut back in Somerset on Friday. Pitch, foul tip at the plate for strike two. Baez on Friday went 0 for 3, but he did draw a walk in the 9th inning. He was left on base. Alcantara leading off the first base bag as Perez comes set, kicks the 0-2. Misses a little low for ball one. So the double play could still be an option for the Fisher Cats. Good when the second baseman playing in close to that second base bag. Alcantara sidesteps off the first base bag. 1-2. Inside, and it hits Baez this time. It got him on his front left arm, and he, like Franklin Arias, quickly tosses off the gear and takes his free base. Portland now with runners at first and second, one out for the cleanup batter, Miguel Blaze.
That is exactly what elbow guards are for. I would hate to imagine what that would look like without it. Baez took that like a champ. So did Franklin Arias earlier. 2 on now with just 1 gone. First opportunity for Blaze with runners in scoring position today.
Perez looks back to second. Both runners are off. Swing and a miss at the plate. Throw down to third is not in time. Marvin Alcantara steals third base. His first stolen base of the season. And on the play, Baez moves into scoring position at second.
It was a very close play. Parker, the catcher, his throw short hopped one time, and with that, Alcantara was able to slide head first underneath the tag. Really brave decision making in the base paths early on, but I expect we'll see a lot of that from manager Chad Epperson this season.
0-1 is tapped foul third base side towards the third base coach's box to Epi, and that is one thing over the years that Epi has said, that he has great base runners, and he said it with last year's team as well. And now you've got speed, and you've got Arias and Alcantara, and we had just talked about Alcantara's speed, and there he is showcasing it there. 0-2. This is low and outside as Blaze takes it for ball one.
You have to imagine with the lack of scoring in these first 2 games that Epi is playing with taking a little bit more risks in the base paths as well. Takes away that force at first, so the double play is not an option anymore.
1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Blaze. The pitch. High and inside, and he backs off of it. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that steal by Marvin Alcantara is brought to you by Casco Bay Steel, your family-owned steel bridge fabrication company serving New England for over 20 years. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Scoreless game in the bottom of the first inning in Portland, the 2-2. Over the head of Miguel Blaze to the backstop. Alcantara scores easily. Baez up to third, and the Sea Dogs strike first. They lead 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning.
Fernando Perez is from Nicaragua. There is not 37-degree weather playing baseball in Nicaragua. And you have to imagine that the cold is impacting his ability. He has not been locating since the jump, since that first hit by pitch to Arias. Blaze has been challenged. That was a wild pitch. Perez is putting his team in some trouble right now with still just 1 out in the inning.
And Blaze now with a full count. The infield comes in with Baez at third base. Right-hander sets, kicks the pitch. High and inside, ball 4. And Perez is just missing high and in to right-handers. It seems to be the location. He's only hit right-handers. He'll face his first lefty here with Nelly Taylor. And as Blaze takes his free base, here comes the pitching coach, Austin Bibbins-Dirks, to talk with his pitcher, Fernando Perez. And Austin Bibbins-Dirks, a major league career, spent some time with the Texas Rangers, talks with Perez, and then also Parker, the catcher for the Fisher Cats as well. So Portland now with runners at first and third, still just 1 out, but where Perry talked about taking away the double play with Alcantara and Baez both moving up a play on the double steal, now that double play is a possibility again for the Fisher Cats. But now you face three lefties, Nellie Taylor, Max Ferguson, and Will Turner due up. Turner steps in on the left-handed batter's box, went 0 for 4 on Friday night. Perez looks over to first. He sets. 1-0. Called strike on the low and outside corner. And you saw Miguel Bleis there with the pitch take a big move towards second base. We've been talking about speed. Well, Miguel Bleis has speed as well. 1-1. Swing, and Taylor drives it center field. Munguia back on it to his left, reaches up, he makes the catch, but it is deep enough in the field as Baez tags up. He comes home to score on the sacrifice fly, and Portland extends their lead 2-0 in the bottom of the first.
This has to give the Sea Dogs so much confidence early on to see the barrel connecting with the bat, to see the opposite pitcher a little out of sorts. You get a lot of base runners on, whether that's from the hit by pitches, the walks. One thing to say about the Sea Dogs' performance over the weekend, even if they weren't putting the barrel to the bat, they had a lot of walks. They were seeing the ball very well out of the pitcher's hand. That continued with that walk from Bleis, and now the Sea Dogs still runners in play, looking to add on to this lead.
A check throw over to first base, and Perez bounces it over to first, but Hornig able to corral it and hold Miguel Bleis at first. So Portland still just able to, or looking to build on this lead, maybe move some more base runners. First pitch to Ferguson. Pops it up foul behind the plate for strike one. And Max Ferguson has been a bright spot in Portland's lineup over the weekend. Had the first home run of the season for the Sea Dogs on Friday night. Had a single on Saturday night. Of course, Portland and Somerset rained out on Sunday. 0-1. Misses outside, and the count evens. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bleis tags up at first. Perez looks in, bends at the waist as the infield shifts to the right side. Here's the 1-1. Misses low and inside, ball 2. And Portland's hitters just being patient. They've done all of this damage, a 2-0 lead, without recording a hit. Perez sets again, looking over his left shoulder. The 2-1 misses low and inside, ball 3. And now we have some activity in the Fisher Cats bullpen. Perez now at 21 pitches. He comes set, has the signs from his catcher Parker. The 3-1 blazes off, swing and a drive down the right field line, but it hooks foul up and over the Portland Expo next door. And the count goes full for Ferguson.
Ferguson had that solo homer in the first game, has been seeing it well so far. Also, such a veteran presence in the clubhouse, someone who always brings up the energy around his teammates. No one at this ballpark wants to see succeed more than Max Ferguson.
He's definitely become a crowd favorite over the years. Here's the payoff pitch, blazes off again, and Ferguson drives it to center field. Munguia moves over to his right, and he tracks it down to make the catch. And the inning comes to an end, but the Sea Dogs score 2 runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We head to the top of the second. Portland leading 2-0 on the Sea Dogs Radio Network, presented by Verizon.
Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives, makes a spectacular catch. Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the second. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So 1 out to begin the bottom of the second.
Giving up Josh Naylor, who was on an expiring deal. Oh, that was nasty. A sweeper and a sword on Brock Rodden.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings this ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead. The next pitch. Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller Lite landing. 2 at-bats tonight, 2 home runs, driving in 5.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out.
When the unexpected throws you a curveball, ServPro helps you get back in the game. Serving Maine since 1976, we respond faster to any size disaster. When never thought this would happen, happens. ServPro's got you. Call 1-800-ServPro or visit servpro.com. Top of the second in Portland, Sea Dogs out to an early 2-0 lead. Hayden Mullins on the mound for another inning of work. First pitch to Sean Keys. Foul left side out of play for strike 1. Bit of an overcast here as we had snow for the majority of the day, as we do apparently around this time every year. There's the 0-1 to Keys. Swing, and he lifts it down the left field line. Turner full out sprint onto the warning track, and it lands out of play in the Sea Dogs bullpen for strike 2. But the snow stopped. However, it is still a rather chilly 37 degrees. So a lot of the bullpen arms for Portland sort of standing around, staying warm. So are the Fisher Cats. Here's the 0-2. And it misses upstairs from Hayden Mullins for ball 1. Wind slightly blowing in from center field, so it won't be a huge factor today. Nothing like Saturday in Somerset. There's the 1-2. This is high and outside, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind was howling in around 30 to 35 mile-an-hour wind gusts on Saturday in Somerset. Max Ferguson, who was in the outfield that day, said he went about 20 feet out to come 15 feet back in for a fly ball. Here's the 2-2. This is low and outside, ball 3.
This is the first time that Hayden Mullins has been at risk of walking a batter with his command so far.
Struck out the side in order in the first inning. He comes set again. Here's the payoff. Misses inside, and it's a leadoff walk drawn by the Fisher Cats. First blemish on the day for Hayden Mullins, and Aaron Parker, the catcher, steps to the plate.
The Sea Dogs infield is shifted over to the pull side for both of these batters. They just moved from the right side of the infield to the left side of the infield, with Tyler McDonough slightly shaded to the right side of the second base bag.
First pitch for Mullins. Clips the inside corner for a called strike. Sean Keys tagging up at first base. Max Ferguson holding him on over at first. I don't think, unless you saw the nameplate on his back, you wouldn't know who that was. Using the face covering today as the 0-1 pitch misses high for ball 1. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mullins glances to first, the 1-1. High and inside, ball 2. Now from Mullins, you'll see a fastball, sweeper, slider, cutter, and a changeup. Right now listed as the number 15 prospect in the Red Sox organization. Looks over to first. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a foul tip at the plate, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Went 7-2 last year, a 2.44 ERA, 96 strikeouts and 18 starts. And you know, you see pitchers have good months, all right, can string a good couple of starts together as the 2-2 pitch misses outside for ball 3. But to make as many starts as he did and still have that 2.44 ERA is very impressive. And as the season went along and John Hollebets joined the rotation, Mullins and Hollebets sort of turned out to be a 1-2 punch in the rotation as the 3-2 misses high. And it's back-to-back walks by the Fisher Cats here in the top of the second.
Back-to-back batters with full counts, back-to-back instances where that first full count pitch was ball number 4. 2 on, nobody out for the Fisher Cats, trying to bite into the 2-0 lead.
Javon Ward in on the left side. Mullins glances back to second. First pitch. This is low and outside for ball 1. So after 3 consecutive strikeouts in the first inning, it's back-to-back walks here in the top of the second.
Seeing a little more patience displayed by these New Hampshire batters as well. They're not going after these first couple pitches unless they really like it.
1-0. There's a called strike in the high and outside corner, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Last season, Ward ended the year with New Hampshire. Split time between Vancouver and New Hampshire. 1-1. Misses low and outside, out of the reach of Baez. It rolls to the backstop, and the wild pitch allows both base runners to advance. Keys up to third and Parker to second. And it's a little bit of deja vu to the bottom of the first inning. Sea Dogs able to take advantage of some wild pitching by Fernando Perez. And now you have here in the top of the second back-to-back walks, now a wild pitch. Tying run is in scoring position at second base in Aaron Parker. 2-1. Misses a little bit high, and the count goes 3-1. Even with runners at second and third, infield still shifted to the right side. Here's the 3-1. Called strike brings it down a little bit, and the count goes full. And so, as you pointed out, it's back-to-back full counts worked by the Fisher Cats. Now make it 3 in a row. Mullins sets the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chases it high and outside. That is his 4th strikeout of the day, and a huge out for the Sea Dogs in the top of the second.
Could not have come at a better time for Mullins. You could see a little hesitancy from Ward, who had just watched 2 of his teammates walk on full counts and was probably hoping not to swing. He saw that ball coming into the zone too late, right at the top, clearly in the zone. Tried to put a bat to ball before it was too late and just swung at air.
First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Mungia in center field and another lefty in the lineup. Still with a big opportunity with just 1 out and 2 on in the top of the second. 2-0 ball game. Sea Dogs leading the 1-0. Check swing, and a similar swing that we saw with Javon Ward. Kind of thought about it a little bit too late, as you pointed out, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Mullins has the signs. The 1-1. Inside, Mungia moves out of the way of it for ball 2.
When you talk about players in the minor leagues with a lot of experience, Mungia has been in the minor leagues since 2015. That's when he signed his first minor league contract with the Giants. He's played in the Yankees organizations, now the Blue Jays organizations, has slowly made his way up, has played at the AAA level, mostly though in AA the last couple years.
The 2-1 is lifted into left field. Turner back on it, moving towards his right now, comes in, reaches up and makes the catch. Tagging at third is Keys. There won't be a throw, and it's a sacrifice fly for Mungia. And the Fisher Cats are on the board, 2-1 in the top of the second.
Taylor was on target with his relay throw. He was just way too deep to make a play on that ball, with Keys coming in from third, almost at the warning track. So sac flies score the first run for both teams today.
Now Kate Doty steps to the plate, the shortstop. Runner at second represents the tying run. Portland trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead in the top of the second. 2 outs. Here's the first pitch from Mullins. Misses low and inside for ball 1. Kate Doty, also a member of the Fisher Cats last season. 21 years old. And you see a lot of the younger hitters in the Eastern League these days, and the pitcher's a little bit older. Here's the 1-0. This is low and inside, ball 2. Originally drafted by the Tigers out of high school in 2019, but instead decided to go play for LSU. Batted .301, the Tigers. 2-0. Misses low and inside, ball 3. Mullins nods to Baez behind the plate. He sets. 3-0. Called strike in at the knees as I think it's trying to rain, possibly.
I was going to say there's definitely some precipitation. Looks like a sleet, kind of what the weather app would call a wintry mix.
I would call it, it's spitting. That's what it's doing. It's just spitting right now. Here's the 3-1. Misses inside, ball 4, and I think with that precipitation, Mullins might have had some trouble gripping the baseball on that last pitch as Doty works the walk, and here comes Nick Goodwin. And Goodwin looks like he's trying to dry off the barrel of the bat a little bit, holding it under his left arm. Fisher Cats with the go-ahead run at first base. Mullins sets. Baez sets up on the inside part of the plate. And the pitch. This is low and inside, ball 1.
In the first inning, Mullins did such a good job getting out ahead in these counts, starting off with some strikes, gets the batter on the back foot, forces them to compete more over the plate. This entire inning, the theme has been starting off with a number of balls, having to fight back to those full counts. He's walked 3 batters already. Here's the 1-0. Right over the plate for a called strike. And something that the Red Sox pitching development department preaches is first pitch strikes. Throw a first pitch strike, you're ahead 1-0, and you can control the rest of the at-bat from there. It starts with that first pitch, the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Out ahead of it for strike 2. So Mullins trying to get out of this inning. Fisher Cats, though, looking to tie or take the lead. They trail 2-1, but have runners at first and second with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch sails upstairs, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infielders playing behind the base runners. Mullins nods, sets at the chest. The 2-2. Misses inside, ball 3, and that is the 4th full count worked by the Fisher Cats here in the top of the 2nd. Goodwin has a great eye at the plate. This is his first year in Double-A ball. Had over 50 walks last year in Vancouver at the high A level for the Blue Jays.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Runners are off, and it misses high and inside, ball 4. That is the 4th walk of the inning and loads the bases full of Fisher Cats and takes us back to the top of the batting order with Eddie Micheletti Jr. And here comes Juan Rivera, the pitching coach, to talk with Mullins and the entire infield.
This is exactly the last person you want coming up to the plate right now with the bases loaded. He has a home run in each of their first 2 games this season.
And if you can force a ground ball, the good thing is there's a force out at any base, so you have some options. If the ball is hit on the ground, if it's hit in the air for a fly ball, you've got 2 outs. But you've got the tying run 90 feet away. And the go-ahead run at second. A lefty-lefty matchup. Mullins sets. First pitch. Misses inside for ball 1. And the first matchup between these two, Micheletti is struck out looking against Hayden Mullins. He comes set. 1-0. Misses a little bit low. The count goes to 2-0. Goodwin at first, Doty at second, Parker at third. All reached via walks. Lefty takes the deep breath, the 2-0. Called strike on the outside part of the plate.
Really solid horizontal break on that pitch, moving across out of reach of the batter, but crossed the zone right on that outside line.
2-1. Swing, and he gets under it, pops it up foul, third base out of play, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Caught it on the bare hand off of one bounce. You can half count that as the bare hand catch. With how cold it is out here, I respect the hustle nonetheless.
It's 35 degrees out here. If you can catch it, then kudos to you. It doesn't matter how you do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Misses high and outside, ball 4.
Well, of all the full counts we've had this inning, Emma, this one is by far the most important.
Bases loaded. With 2 outs, tying run at third base. Portland leading 2-1. Here's the 3-2. Swing, and he spoils this one foul left side and out of play. And Mullins already now at 51 pitches. Mullins had 12 pitches in the first inning.
There's a strong pull side shift on right now.
The payoff again, misses low and inside, ball 4. It's a bases loaded walk. Brings home Aaron Parker as Kate Doty moves to third, Goodwin to second. Micheletti Jr. now at first, and we've got ourselves a brand new ball game, tied at 2 in the top of the second.
Orphan represents the 8th batter of the inning after a quick 1-2-3 in the top half of the first, striking out the side this second inning, and this precipitation coming down. The weather has really thrown Mullins off his game.
And here comes manager Chad Epperson out to the mound, and he's going to take the ball away from Hayden Mullins. His day is done early as the Sea Dogs will go to the bullpen for the first time. It will be the tall right-hander Jorge Juan to take things over on the mound for the Sea Dogs. When we come back, tied at 2 in the top of the second on the Sea Dogs Radio Network, presented by Verizon. Leading off the top of the first inning is the Substance.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
And you're just too stylish to have superstitions.
Zero. I can't do it. Too many collared cleats, too many gloves, too many webbing gloves, too many bats.
I do put on my right glove first, then the left, then the thumb guard, then I put on my leg guard, my elbow guard.
Anything you put on first?
Nah, not really.
Nothing?
Nah. I like to say I'm not superstitious, but a little stitious.
Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the
Dominican Republic. Signed as a free agent last season by the Red Sox after spending time with Augusta and Columbus, and then was assigned to Portland and finished the year with the Sea Dogs last season. He comes in to take over for the lefty Hayden Mullins. We can't quite talk about his final line as he is responsible for all 3 runners on base. And so the tall right-hander looks in, and he will face Jace Borfin. First pitch. Misses low and
Basketball,
inside.
you call those broken ankles.
Yeah, Borfin hit the ground on that one, trying to get out of the way of it, and pitch misses for ball 1. One features a four-seam fastball, slider, cutter, curveball, and also a two-seamer. Here's the 1-0. Bounces in front of the plate. A great block by Baez as the ball rolls down the third base line, holds everybody at their base. I think in this situation, with the bases loaded, or just with a runner at third in this situation, you can see the standout defensive catchers, and that's what Baez has become known for. Here's the 2-0. Misses inside and hits Borfin on his front right leg. It's a bases loaded hit by pitch. Doty comes home to score, and the Fisher Cats take a 3-2 lead in the top of the second. Goodwin moves to third, Micheletti Jr. to second, and Borfin is at first after the hit by pitch. And the Fisher Cats now send their 9th batter to the plate this inning, Jackson Hornick.
5 runs have been scored in this game. None of them have come from hits. No hits for either team yet. Just a heck of a lot of free bases all over the place.
Juan looks in, ball behind his back on his right side. He comes set at the chest. 1-0. Misses out of the reach of Baez in the left-handed batter's box. He heads to the backstop, and another run comes home to score on another wild pitch. And it is 4-2 Fisher Cats.
Juan has yet to throw a strike in the first 2 batters he's faced.
2-0. This is low and outside, ball 3.
Tallest on the team at 6'8", and because of that, the ball comes from such a height. Breaks over the entire zone almost, but all of these are ending up low around the ankles.
3-0, another one low, and it's another walk. Loads the bases again for New Hampshire. And now the Fisher Cats have batted around as Sean Keys comes to the plate. The second time in this inning. Now, despite the temperature right now at 37 degrees, Jorge Juan featuring the short sleeves. Kicks in the first pitch. Bounces again in front of the plate for ball 1. And you're right, Juan just having some trouble elevating these pitches. All of them have either bounced or been essentially in the dirt right over the plate. He sets again. The 1-0. Misses low, and Sean Keys is going to say that he was hit by a pitch. And the home plate umpire, Justin Juska, agrees. Another hit by pitch brings home another run for the Fisher Cats.
Jorge Juan's strength is his speed and his velocity on these pitches, but a not-so strength of his is his control, and today he has not been able to locate the zone since he stepped out there.
And now Aaron Parker comes to the plate. That's on the right side. Base is still full. Here's the first pitch. Misses a little bit low. Sea Dogs fans thought that was going to be a called strike. Instead, it's ball 1. Foxen deals the 1-0. Called strike, and we're going outside corner. Loud applause from Sea Dogs fans. And with that extra extension, too, from Juan, his fastballs, from the hitter's perspective, can look like they have a little extra zip to them. Here's the 1-1. This is low and outside off the mitt of Baez. Another run comes home to score on another wild pitch. Jace Borfin this time scores. Hornick up to third. Keys to second. As the Fisher Cats further extend their lead 6-2 in the top of the second inning. Parker back in on the right side.
There is action in the Sea Dogs bullpen.
2-1, misses low and inside, for ball 3. is Cade Feeney currently warming up for Portland. Here's the 3-1. Right down the middle, a called strike 2, and the count goes full for Jorge Juan. Runners at second and third with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Portland now trailing 6-2. The pitch misses low and outside, ball 4. Loads the bases again for the Fisher Cats. Here comes Javon Ward. And again, you pointed this out earlier, but now 8 combined runs, 0 hits from either team.
You could call it classic cold weather baseball, maybe some first day jitters.
That's baseball, Susan. Here's the first pitch to Ward, and it bounces inside. They're going to have a check swing from the third base umpire, Liana Ricks. And she says that he did not go around. That's ball 1. Liana Ricks, the second female umpire in the history of the Eastern League, behind Jen Powell, who became the first female umpire in the history of Major League Baseball last season. Here's the 1-0. This is inside for ball 2. Jen Powell was in the Eastern League in 2022, I believe. Umpired a few games here in Portland. Here's the 2-0. Big swing and a miss. Breaking ball low and inside for strike 1.
That might be the first time someone swung at a Jorge Juan pitch since he started.
He kicks. Here's the 2-1. Misses low and inside, ball 3. Yeah, you were correct. Here's the 3-1. Misses low and inside for ball 4. And Jorge Juan was having trouble elevating any of these pitches as he walks another. Brings home another Fisher Cat. Bases stay loaded for Ismael Munguia. Here comes Chad Epperson. And he takes the ball away from Jorge Juan, and the Sea Dogs will turn to the bullpen again here in the top of the second. Juan leaves with 2 outs in the top of the second. Portland trailing 7-2. We'll take a break on the Sea Dogs Radio Network, presented by Verizon.
If you were to find a jersey, or if you swap a jersey, one of the players on the National League, who would it be? Who would you pick?
Okay, so I got an Ohtani jersey last year, so
Nice.
I'm gonna probably say Harper.
Maybe Judge. He's one of the greatest to play the game in the last 5, 6, 7 years, so it'd be cool to have his jersey. Ellie's been fun to watch. Yeah, Ellie'd be a cool one. I mean, his jersey would probably be too big for me. It'd probably go down to my knees.
Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the second. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So 1 out to begin the bottom of the second.
The design for the HVR jersey is inspired from the national flag colors of Bhutan. The saffron represents the monastic division. The yellow represents the monarch. And the dragon is a white dragon, a peaceful dragon.
I think probably the coolest feature though is the druk, which is the dragon and is the national symbol of Bhutan. Really happy to integrate that in the jerseys. I think they came out really nice.
For the Fisher Cats as well, having some control issues as you can expect in 35-degree weather. As Feeney toes the rubber, the right-hander looks in as Munguia steps in the left-handed batter's box. First pitch. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. Starts him off with the fastball. Is Munguia did have a sacrifice fly in the second inning to put the Fisher Cats on the board. 0-1. Bounces in front of the plate and kicks off of Baez's mitt. Ends up and over the netting and into the seats behind home plate. Sean Keys comes home to score on the wild pitch, and it is 8-2 Fisher Cats.
I was going to say, Munguia, this inning's been going on so long that his sacrifice fly was responsible for the first run to come across for the Fisher Cats earlier this same inning.
1-1 is a called strike, 2 on the high and outside corner. Still no hits on the board for either team, but the Fisher Cats lead 8-2. 1-2. Swing, and he hits it hard the other way into left field. One run comes home to score. Here's the throw from Nellie Taylor. It won't be in time. 2 more runs score off the first hit of the game, and it is 10-2 Fisher Cats in the top of the second.
Shortstop number 7, Cade.
And I believe it'll be a 2-run single, and he advanced to second on the throw. So Cade Doty now comes to the plate, runner at second, and still 2 outs. As we had 2 outs the first time Munguia came to the plate in this inning. There's the first pitch. Swing and in at the hands. Doty fouls it right side out of play for strike 1.
At least Feeney is putting these pitches in the zone, so the balls are being put in play, foul or fair. Now it's up to his defense to make play on it.
Feeney comes set. 0-1. This is a little bit high. The count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That hit, though, for Munguia is such an example of the risk-reward factor of the shift, as we see a pull-side shift on here. That entire shortstop gap.
Called strike from the low and outside corner.
It was wide open. Munguia's ball would have been fielded where the shortstop normally would stand, but because the Sea Dogs made the choice to set up in a different way, that side of the field was completely open.
1-1 from Feeney. Just misses low and outside for ball 2, and Feeney's not missing by very much here in the top of the second inning. Cade Doty at the plate is the 14th batter to come to the plate in this inning. Here's the 2-1. Right down the middle, a called strike. And out number 3 in the top of the second.
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte in the air, right to the guy we just showed you. Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings this ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead. The next pitch. Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller line landing. 2 at-bats tonight. 2 home runs, driving in 5.
One of the personal touches on the uniform is the gray, making it look like it's the old wool.
The great thing about the Birmingham Black Barons uniforms, very simple in regards to the triangle B and the block lettering for Birmingham across the chest.
This is something that's a little bit more geared towards the...
To welcome brand new beginnings, because we're just getting started. Northern Light Mercy Hospital. How are you?
Bottom of the second inning, back at Delta Dental Park at Hadlock Field. The Fisher Cats explode for 10 runs in the top of the second inning. 10 runs on 1 hit, if you can believe it. Sea Dogs trail 10-2, and it'll be Will Turner, Tyler McDonough, and Abram Liendo to face the right-hander in Fernando Perez. Will Turner stands in the left-handed batter's box. Perez nods, kicks and delivers the first pitch. This is high and outside for ball 1. Now it is my pleasure to welcome in the booth Dr. Ali Howe. And I mean, you're technically a gold medalist, right?
I mean, I guess so, doctor-wise, yeah, sure.
So you were tell me if this is incorrect, but you're the official team doctor for Team USA Women's Hockey.
That's correct. Yeah, well, USA Hockey is its own national governing body, and so I'm part of USA Hockey, but that puts me part of Team USA. So yeah.
So you got to go to Milan.
So I went to Milan. That's right, with the team, and yeah, we're embedded, live in the village, do all the things the team does. So yeah, we don't take the medals home, but we take plenty of pictures with gold medals and people who we love who have them. And
I bet.
Yeah, so it's fantastic.
And how many people are on your medical staff?
We have 7 this year.
Okay.
And we had 2 dietitians that were sharing the role. We had 2 athletic trainers, sports psych, and a massage therapist, and me.
Wow. Now, when you went to med school and everything, did you want to work in sports? Did you want to work for hockey in particular?
Totally. No,
Really?
I went into medical school saying, like, I'm going to be an orthopedic surgeon because that's what I need to do to work with athletes.
Okay.
And then I learned about sports medicine.
And how, for those of us who may not be well versed in that, what is the difference? Obviously, operating with surgery, but what does your day-to-day look like?
I call it non-operative orthopedics.
Okay.
But also, like, I might see a kid who's struggling with asthma and wonders how they can play, or is having trouble socially with their team, or emotionally. Sometimes that'll happen. But I took care of primary care patients for a very long time. Just a couple years ago, started doing just sports medicine. So, ears and tummies and hearts and all the things, and then sports injuries in addition. But honestly, the number of people who move these days is growing. People are active, and so there's all ages.
Which is great that we're moving more.
I'm all in favor. Definitely. Yes, it's good.
So how did you get to join the hockey team and be a part of that staff?
I met someone when I first moved to Maine, and luckily for me, it sounds strange, but the other doctor that was with the team wasn't the best fit. And so lucky for me, she said, we kind of need somebody. Would you be interested? I started with the under-18 team in 2011, and the first team had a wonderful group of kids, and 7 of them became Olympians. And usually maybe it's 1.
Wow.
Because you think you have kids who are they play Olympics 3 or 4 Olympics, and so those slots are taken. So we don't get a lot of under-18s who get to move on.
That's really special.
So it was super special. Yeah.
As Tyler McDonough draws a walk, now back-to-back walks, Turner at second, McDonough at first, and Abram Liendo comes to the plate. So did you have any of those athletes on the team this year then?
Yeah, 2 are still there.
Wow.
Yeah, we call each other the OGs. We take a picture every time we have a trip.
Who are they?
Alex Carpenter and Lee Steckline.
Wow.
Yep, superstars. Absolute superstars.
First pitch called strike to Liendo. Runners at first and second. Portland trailing 10-2. Talking with Dr. Ali Howe. And so, is this your first Olympics? Fourth. Wow.
I know. It feels like a weird statement for sure, but I went to one with Team USA directly. I wasn't with the team, but then the last 3 have all been with USA Hockey as the doctor.
And where does this one rank?
The best. Yeah, truly. It was. The food was incredible in Milan. Italy's such a great place to be, but the fan base was so much bigger at this one because I was in Sochi in Russia and hardly any U.S. fans went. Went to Pyeongchang, hardly any U.S. fans went.
Right.
And then Beijing, nobody could go.
That's right.
So it was awesome to have people chanting and yelling, and the gold medal game was the loudest hockey game I've been to.
Oh, I bet.
It was awesome.
We had it on in our office, and
so cool.
It traveled down because everyone was in different parts of the game, so it traveled down our offices of the final goal. But it also has to go hand in hand with the development of the PWHL and and just women's sports in general. Are now very popular as Abram Liendo swings and misses for strike 3, first out in the bottom of the second, and go back to the top of the order with Franklin Arias.
Yeah, I was saying the quality of hockey this Olympics has increased by so much exponentially because of the PWHL, because the players are playing all the time now and getting regular care. Before that, they were not playing and getting health care on a regular basis, except for in between with camps, and then if they had people at their own home. But now everybody's got what they need, so they're all thriving.
And it's cool we have the Boston Fleet down the highway.
So cool. I know, super lucky. And some of the players from there one of the players on that team will retire this year, but she was one of the originals as well. Hannah Brandt is her name. And yeah, we're just I'm so lucky that she's still playing, and she's not on the Olympic team anymore, but she's still around. And these kids, you make such a bond because you're traveling with them and you're embedded with them and you're caring for them and you're meeting their families, and it's super special.
Well, and I saw some old social media with you and Hillary Knight. You were cooking for them or something at one of the trips.
Yeah, our dietitian, the Olympic Committee decided that the athletes needed to eat the food they were used to, so they brought the chefs from the Olympic Village for the athletes, or from like the Olympic villages in Lake Placid and in Colorado Springs, and they came to Pyeongchang, and they had a place where the athletes could eat, but they didn't provide breakfast, so we had to make breakfast. So the original goal was, we'll get bagels, maybe we'll buy a toaster. We'll have yogurt, this and that. And then I was like, no, Carrie, the dietitian's a great friend. We can do better than that. Like, I have a really good pancake recipe. She's like, really? Yeah? Okay. So we ended up having game day pancakes, and now we call them gold medal pancakes because we had a gold medal after that. And
No way.
It was so sick. Yeah.
I don't see how you can eat anything else for breakfast after winning a gold medal.
It was great.
Franklin Arias draws the third walk of the inning now. Bases loaded for Marvin Alcantara. And it must be really special as well as now we have a visit from the pitching coach Austin Bibbins-Dirks for New Hampshire to talk with Perez and Parker, but to kind of share it with your family as well.
I know, so lucky.
You
right?
have a Lucy, I have a Lucy.
Exactly.
And now
love your Lucy.
And I love your Lucy.
It's perfect.
But it's so cool to see your Lucy being able to go and cheer you on.
Oh, yeah.
She's probably your biggest fan.
Oh, yeah.
Cheer you on in Milan and celebrate with her too.
Yeah. Has Lucy told you that she's 3-0 in gold medal games?
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah. She tells people, and the players know, and so now they're like, okay, so we'll see her. The next event will be World Championships in Denmark in November.
Oh wow!
And they're like, great, sign Lucy up. She's
Perfect.
coming.
Yeah,
because we got to win with her. We always win with her.
It seems like a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, they have it's an interesting choice to do a World Championships in the same year, but they see the hockey season, the year starts in September.
Okay.
October. I'm not sure if I have that exact, but August or September. So they don't want to miss it this year. And the best timing for our players, it's a little bit clunky this year.
And it looks like we have an ejection here from the New Hampshire Fisher Cats manager, John Tamargo Jr., and must have been talking with home plate umpire Justin Juska, and we have our first ejection of 2026, and John Tamargo Jr. still talking with Justin Juska, and then here comes Rafael Pineda, first base umpire, to join the discussion. And here in Hadlock Fields, the dugouts are not connected to the clubhouses, so John Tamargo Jr. will have to grab his things and head out towards right field and make his exit a little bit early from Delta Dental Park. He's gonna, I think, grab his cup of coffee first. I would do the same.
Yeah, same, absolutely, especially if it's hot.
Yep.
That's like a literal walk of shame there, huh? You have to walk pretty
really,
far.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think one of the most iconic moments of an ejection was actually on the Netflix documentary about the Boston Red Sox. They had Sea Dogs manager Chad Epperson mic'd up for that one, and that was when the previous home clubhouse was underneath Giffords Pavilion, and there was a very excited kid, very happy with Eppy's standing up for the players and his ejection because of it. It's a cute moment. I can't repeat all of it on the air, but highly recommend watching the clubhouse on
check
Netflix.
It out. Okay, check it out.
So John Tamargo Jr. has collected his things, and he makes his way into right field.
It's going to be a minute.
Yep. It is. Fernando Perez, the right-hander on the mound, is going to stay warm. He's going to continue to pitch and keep that right arm warm, especially in this weather at 35 degrees. You gotta admit, I gotta imagine, you gotta watch out for your hamstrings in this kind of weather.
Oh, heck yeah. 100%. And if you get hit with a ball, it's going to hurt so much worse.
Right, and a good amount of players on both sides have been hit by pitches
that's
today.
That's what I'm thinking, absolutely. Yeah, sprinting from first to second, that's a little risky. You can stay warm. Yep. Yeah, baseball's tough. Every sport's got its thing, you know?
Right. Well, what is hockey's thing?
People have sticks and they come at you. I mean, the women, super interesting. The women have to wear a cage. They're required. The men are not allowed to unless they have an injury.
Okay.
So it's international. I think there might be some different rules, but it's I'm very lucky that they have cages.
Right.
There's a lot fewer injuries because of those cages.
So you're saying the women have more teeth?
Yes, correct. And fewer scars on their face.
Perfect. Here's the 2-0 to Alcantara, and he skies it high, shallow right center field. Borfin moving in. Underneath it, he reaches up, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Will Turner. The throw is cut off shortly. A quick toss to the plate, but it's not in time. And it is a sacrifice fly for Marvin Alcantara. The Sea Dogs score their third run of the game, and they trail 10-3. And that brings up Nate Baez. Well, during the Olympics, my Lucy, who is now 2 years old, got very, very into the women's hockey.
Sweet.
She now
Start early.
She has her own jersey.
Yes.
And she was starting to know Hillary Knight, and Bilka was a favorite as well. Here's the first pitch to Baez, called strike in the low and outside corner. So to say that she's obsessed is quite the understatement.
Wow.
Where she
I
would
love this.
point at the puck and point at the other teammates and say that they would pass to their friends.
Oh my gosh, she's
So-
not wrong.
No,
she got it. She picked it up.
There's the 0-1 to Baez, and he rips it into left field. Ward running back on it. It's off the wall. Here comes McDonough. He scores. It's an RBI double for Nate Baez. And the Sea Dogs showing some signs of life here in the bottom of the second inning as they continue to trail 10-4. Arias moves to third on the play. And here comes Miguel Blaze. But did you maybe get that sense with the team that they were playing for such a large audience, especially when they went to the gold medal game, and then you see the men, and then the Paralympics? I mean, it was a clean sweep.
Yeah, right on. I mean, I'll be honest, when we were there, I couldn't feel it in the same way as people did here. It was a joy to come home and realize how many people were watching.
And we have to talk. We can't let you go because there are 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Blaze. Snoop Dogg.
Oh, I know, right?
Absolutely
Yes,
epic. So how
lucky.
did that all happen? And
I think I manifested it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. So we had our sports psych person brought some bracelet making materials. So we made Taylor Swift-esque bracelets, and I made my first one, and it was too big. And so I'm like, dang it, I got to start again. So I made a second one, and as I'm making it, one of the players said, "Doc, what are you going to do with that?" I was like, "Oh, I'm going to give it to Snoop when I meet him." They're like, "Oh, cool." And then I made my bracelet. It's all fine. I was wearing 2 bracelets. People are like, "Oh, you made 2. That one, wait, weren't you going to give one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to give it to Snoop." "Yeah, so-and-so told me that." So it got through the team.
Wow.
And then I just got lucky. Literally met him in a moment. I just walked up into an opportunity where he was filming something. Nobody else was around. And I was standing and watching. And one of my Olympic committee friends was helping, show them around. He was in the weight room. And they turned, and I said, "Oh, shoot, do I need to leave?" And they're like, No, come on over here. He wants to meet you. I'm like, "He wants to meet me?" Okay. So I walked in. He was a joy, a dream. And the first thing I did was like, "Oh, Snoop, I actually made you a bracelet." And he was like, "Whoa," so touched, and gave me a pin and held my hands, and we hugged multiple times. It was lovely.
That's so special.
So sweet.
So did you know Snoop was around?
I knew he was going to be there that day or the next
Okay.
in the Olympic Village. I did not know he was going to be on our floor. I expected him to be closer to the athletes, really. Although we are where the athletes are, sort of, but we're on the first floor. They are on the second and third floor, right? So
Makes
we're
sense.
Barquisimeto of Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the second. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So 1 out to begin the bottom of the second.
Giving up Josh Naylor, who was on an expiring deal. Oh, that was nasty. A sweeper and a sword on Brock Rodden.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings this ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead. The next pitch. Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller Lite landing. 2 at-bats tonight, 2 home runs, driving in 5.
Oh, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the Midnight Navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life, die hard.
Technology doesn't have to throw curveballs your way. From comprehensive technology services to hands-on expert support, our experienced IT team is here to keep things steady, respond quickly, and support your goals like a true all-star teammate. SystemArchitecture.net, an IT management company.
Top of the third inning, back in Portland, the Sea Dogs trailing 10-4. First pitch from Cade Feeney is a called strike to the right-hander. And Nick Goodwin. Goodwin drew a walk and scored one of the 10 runs by New Hampshire in the top of the second. 0-1. This is low and outside for ball 1. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Special thank you to Dr. Allie Howe for stopping by the booth for a half inning. There's the 1-1. Called strike 2 on the low and outside corner. And I totally forgot to mention, too, Dr. Howe actually works at Intermed. They were so excited for her when she was leaving for Milan. But team doctor for Team USA Women's Hockey is Goodwin. Drills it deep left field. Turner back on it. Has to play it off the main monster in left field. Plays it off a hop. Throws into second. A close play, but it won't be in time. Nick Goodwin leads off with a double in the top of the third inning.
It was a great chance to get them out at second. Really strong throw from Will Turner in the outfield, but the throw came to the back of the bag. The slide came to the front, so the tag just not in time. This is a good opportunity to see what Cade Feeney can really do. He inherited so many base runners in the last inning, so much pressure on his shoulders not to give up a single walk, and now you see him throwing strikes out early.
First pitch misses low and inside for ball 1.
It's a chance to really make his mark on the game as the Sea Dogs try to chip away at this lead.
Slightly open stance for Micheletti Jr. 0 for 1 with a walk. Bases loaded walk with a run scored as the 1-0 pitch misses outside for ball 2. And that double, just the second hit of the game for New Hampshire. 2-0. Drops in the off-speed low and outside, and it misses for ball 3. And for Cade Feeney, I mean, these pitches are not missing by very much. Close to the zone on a chilly, I guess it's now night. It's almost 6 o'clock in Maine. Here's the 3-0. Misses inside as Micheletti Jr. spins out of the way of it for ball 4. Now runners at first and second. Nobody out for Jace Borfin.
Again, the silver lining is that puts the force back in play at all of the bases in the infield for the Sea Dogs. And you're right, these pitches really aren't missing the zone by much. It's almost like all of the walks they've seen so far today have trained them to stay back on it.
First pitch is a called strike, and you know, and that should be the game plan on a cold night like this. Be very, very patient. Feeney sets the 0-1. Swing, and Borfin fouls the left side out of play for strike 2. And now Feeney ahead in the count. Cade Feeney, the third pitcher of the ball game for the Sea Dogs, following Hayden Mullins and Jorge Juan. He sets the 0-2. Goes with the slider, but it misses low and inside for ball 1. But Feeney is probably used to this weather. Grew up in North Dakota. 24 years old and a 13th round selection by the Red Sox in 2023. Kicks the 1-2. High and inside as Borfin spins out of the way of it. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had a miss last season. He was recovering from Tommy John surgery. And then was assigned to Portland on the opening day roster. 2-2. High and outside, ball 3 with the fastball. Count goes full.
So Feeney was not only coming in a bases loaded situation with all that pressure, it was also his first time stepping foot on the mound in a game in over an entire season because of that injury.
As a 3-2 is spoiled straight back, count stays full. Right, you talk about high leverage situations, but that is probably a pretty big moment for Cade Feeney. Gave up a 2-run single, but then struck out Cade Doughty to end the inning. He comes set. Another look back to second, the payoff pitch, and it's a called strike 3. Goes high and inside to Borfin. Freezes the right fielder for the first out in the top of the third inning. That's his second strikeout of the game.
Way to bounce back from those few balls, missing just outside the zone. That one, he dropped the velocity off of it, just 80 miles an hour as it crossed the plate at the top of the zone, hung up there. Really nice pitch.
First pitch swinging for Hornig, and he lines it to right center field. Racing over, cutting it off is Miguel Blaze. 1 run comes home to score. The throw to third is strong. Not in time as they throw back to second, trying to get Hornig. That's not in time. It's an RBI single, and the Fisher Cats extend their lead 11-4 in the top of the third.
Talked about Portland's aggressive base running earlier. That was a really aggressive call from New Hampshire to send the runner all the way around on what looked initially like a single off the bat. You could argue that Portland also looked a little out of sorts on their whole plan with that because the throw didn't come into home. They weren't expecting that runner to come around. Then they try late to get the runner at third, try late to get the runner at second, and it ends up with runners on second and third.
First pitch swinging again, a one-hopper to Tyler McDonough at second. He goes to first for the force out. That'll be an RBI ground out for Sean Keys. Another run comes home for the Fisher Cats as Hornig moves to third. And now there are 2 outs for Aaron Parker, the catcher. And now the Fisher Cats, it looks like the game plan is they know that Feeney's going to throw strikes, so they're going to jump on him a little bit earlier on in the at-bat. Parker drew a pair of walks in the last inning, the first pitch. This is high and outside for ball 1. Parker has scored 2 of the 12 runs for the Fisher Cats. All but 1 Fisher Cat has scored today. 1-0. Called strike on the low and inside corner, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Feeney readies, glances to third to the runner, the 1-1. Called strike 2 on the low and inside corner. So Feeney just clipping the corners, it looks like. Parker calls time and he steps out. Parker drafted in the 6th round, the 2024 draft for Toronto. Right-hander sets. 1-2. Misses low and outside, out of the reach of Baez, bounces back from the backs up. He dives head first into the plate and tags out Jackson Hornig. What a hustle play by Nate Baez to record the final out in the top of the 3rd inning. We head to the bottom half with Portland still trailing 12-4 on the Sea Dogs Radio Network, presented by Verizon.
Any job goes more smoothly and successfully with the right people on your team, like the people at Hammond Lumber Company, where you'll find high-quality building materials from industry-leading suppliers and get expert advice and professional services. Hammond offers timely delivery with their own fleet of trucks.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings this ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead.
The next pitch.
Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller Lite landing. 2 at-bats tonight, 2 home runs, driving in 5.
Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the 2nd. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So 1 out to begin the bottom of the second.
He's getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from. And this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Bottom of the third inning back in Portland, Maine. The Sea Dogs trailing 12-4 as Nellie Taylor leads things off. First pitch from Perez misses a little bit inside for ball 1. Taylor had a sacrifice fly in his first at-bat in the first inning. Her first plate appearance. Here's the 1-0. This is low and inside for ball 2.
Gotta give Perez some credit. He has been all over outside the zone today, but he's really stuck with it. And all things considered, giving up 4 runs through the first 2 innings, your team has that comfortable 8-run lead.
Grounds one foul, first base side, strike 1.
Not a bad output for a pitcher who I wasn't sure would even come back for the second inning.
Absolutely. Settled in. He did give up a couple more runs in the bottom of the second inning. Now at 54 pitches as Taylor swings and misses for strike 2, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Taylor was swinging for the fences on that one, put his whole body into it.
He calls time. Still keeps that left foot in the batter's box. Open stance. Here's the 2-2. This is high and outside, ball 3. And we do have now somebody throwing in New Hampshire's bullpen. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Out number 1 in the bottom of the third inning.
First baseman number 10.
And it is Irv Carter, the 4th. Currently warming up. Max Ferguson comes to the plate. Second strikeout of the night for Perez. Ferguson had a full count against Perez back in the first inning. Had a fly out to center field as he puts this one on the ground right side. Second baseman Goodwin ranges to his left. Throws to first. Quickly 2 down in the bottom of the third.
The left fielder number 5, Will Turner.
Will Turner worked a leadoff walk and scored one of the 2 runs for the Sea Dogs in the bottom of the second. First pitch is a called strike on the high and outside corner. Infield shifted to the right side as Perez nods. The 0-1. This is high and outside, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike.
Turner, another one of those guys who, when he gets onto the base paths, has a lot of dangerous speed and base stealing abilities.
1-1. High and outside again, ball 2. Turner spent time in Greenville last season. Here's the 2-1. This is low and inside, ball 3. Perez now north of 60 pitches. Rocks and fires a 3-1. Swing, and Turner drills it down the right field line. It's cut off by Borfin at the wall as he throws in a laser into the infield, and it's a 2-out single for Will Turner. First hit of the game for the Portland Sea Dogs.
And that is an incredible statistic. First hit of the game, 4 runs have already come across.
Or excuse me, second hit. Yeah, Baez had his double in the second.
Right.
So the second hit of the game for the Sea Dogs. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Here's the switch hitter, Tyler McDonough. The pitch. This is outside for ball 1. McDonough spent the entirety of last season with AAA Worcester. At second base today, and the outfield over the weekend with Somerset. More of a utility role for the Sea Dogs this season as the 1-0 pitch is a called strike. Low and inside corner, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1. Throws behind McDonough, bounces to the backstop. Turner takes off for second. Throw won't be in time.
So we saw that the backstop impact the play with Baez in the last inning, where these wild pitches, if they have enough speed on them, can actually bounce off and come right back to the catcher. Parker almost threw him down at second, partially because Will Turner wasn't putting all of his speed into that run, thinking he had a lot more time to get there, had to really turn on the jets at the end.
2-1, misses high and outside, ball 3. Turner is off, throw down to third, and this time it's in time to get Turner. He is caught stealing for the final out of the inning. We head to the top of the fourth. Portland still trailing 12-4 on the Sea Dogs Radio Network, powered by Verizon. Leading off the top of the first inning is the Substance Ale, Bissell Brothers flagship IPA.
The 2-0. Fisted out to short left center. Lara over into the alleyway. Dives! Oh, he's got it! Full extension, and he saves a run.
The 2-2. Oliva, a little looper out into short left, and it's a diving catch by Levi Jordan. What a play! He just made a spectacular grab for the first out of the inning.
Guzman kicks and deals, and he got him. A swinging strike 3. The Binghamton Rumble Pony. They capture their 4th Eastern League title with an 8-2 win over the Erie Seawolves.
Look at that, up the middle. Nice play.
Right off the backside of the mound, and Cerna to first. What a play by Jared Cerna.
Giving up Josh Naylor, who's on an expiring deal. Oh, that was nasty. A sweeper and a sword on Brock Rodden.
Top of the fourth inning, back here in Portland, the Sea Dogs trailing 12-4. More on that in the play-by-play. Here's Perry Keatai.
The Sea Dogs take the field in the top of the fourth, trailing 12-4. With Kate Feeney back out on the mound to continue after putting up a 0, or giving up 2 runs, in the top of the third. First pitch strike to Aaron Parker, who is back in the righty batter's box. He was up to the plate when his teammate got caught stealing at home, so he starts over with a fresh at-bat here, the 0-1. Upstairs at the shoulders, 1-1. Infield shifted slightly to the pull side, but McDonough still shaded to the right. Ball 2 outside in the dirt. And he's ahead in the count. .33 pitches for Feeney, the 2-1. Sky high, tracking foul. Can it stay in play in the corner? The catch is made in the deep outfield by Nellie Taylor. What a play by the right fielder.
I'll talk about a perfect route.
That ball was about to drop as close to the corner, potentially fair or foul as you could get. Nellie Taylor didn't want to give it a chance. First pitch in for strike 1 to Javon Ward, the lefty, as the Portland infield resets to their normal position, slightly pulled over towards the right side. A lot of space up that third baseline if he can push it in the opposite direction. The 0-1 swung through and missed. He's behind 0-2.
A flyout is the first time since the first inning that the Sea Dogs have been able to retire the first batter of an inning.
Ward down 0-2, the pitch. High and away, ball 1. Javon Ward out of Cerritos, California, drafted by the Brewers in 2017. Acquired in 2024 by the Blue Jays, the 1-2. Pitch foul straight behind him, will stay at 1-2. Had a really good eye at the plate last season, led the team with 64 walks, played the whole season in Vancouver. As he takes ball 2, just missing on the outside of the plate. Feeney set at the belt. Into the motion. Strike 3 called on the bottom half of the zone. Gorgeous break from Feeney, who collects out number 2 with the backwards K.
Center field number 1, Ismael Munguia.
Brings up center fielder Ismael Munguia, who came to the plate 2 times in the second inning. Brought across a number of runs as he takes ball 1 outside. Feeney deals. Fouled straight back, 1-1. The infield playing with their heels on the edge of the grass, otherwise spaced evenly. Again, just a little bit of a gap up that third base side. The 1-1 bounces in at the ankles. 2-1's the count. Munguia also out of Nicaragua as the pitch sails outside. 3-1. Mentioned earlier, this is his 10th season in minor league baseball. He's reached as high as AAA as he grounds it towards second. McDonough scoops it on to first, and it is the fastest inning since the first for the Sea Dogs. They come through clean.
Who's got time to make content? With Canva, it's easy. I just pick my clips, 2, 3, and it cooks up a video before the water's boiled. Yes! Try Canva Video today.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
More than 30% of players are Latino. And as you think about that, you have to fit it into the culture of baseball.
One thing that I've always really enjoyed about the Copa program is the players love it. We've had everything from live bands to salsa dancing in the concourse before the game. For us, that meant bringing in a car show.
It really goes with the fun of baseball.
Barquisimeto of Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew.
Brand new beginnings. Because we're just getting started. Northern Light Mercy Hospital. How are you?
5210 program. Vitamin has commitment to building one of the healthiest communities in America.
We are back for the bottom of the fourth. We've got a new pitcher on the bump for the Fisher Cats. It's Irv Carter Jr. out of Freehold, New Jersey, was drafted in the 5th round of the 2021 draft by the Blue Jays. Spent all of last year in Vancouver at the high A level and is now starting the season at AA for the Fisher Cats. He'll face Tyler McDonough, who takes strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. McDonough, of course, back for a fresh at-bat after his teammate Will Turner was caught stealing at third to end the inning in the bottom half of the third. The 0-1. At the top of the zone that time, McDonough watches it go by once again, and he is down 0-2. Carter at a 5.67 ERA last season at the high A level. The 0-2. Check swing. McDonough did not go around on the appeal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In his first plate appearance back in the second inning, McDonough walked. Back for his second time around as the 1-2 drops in at the ankles, 2-2. Abram Liendo on deck before the lineup flips back to the top with Franklin Arias. Carter delivers inside and the count is full. McDonough has battled back from down 0-2 to put himself in a situation to take another bag. Carter twisting the ball in his glove, set for the payoff. Pushed foul by McDonough and will do it again at 3-2. Slight shift on the infield to the pull side on the right side of the field for the lefty batter. Another payoff. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Carter fired up as he puts down the first batter he sees, and New Hampshire will throw it around the infield.
Third baseman number 51, Abram Liendo.
Brings up Abram Liendo, who struck out on 3 pitches in his first plate appearance back in the second. After a quick top half, the Sea Dogs, who went quickly in the third, trying to get some runners on and make this inning competitive. Strike 1 taken by Liendo on the outside half. He's down 0-1. Abram Liendo, one of the faster players on this team, as he takes ball 1 inside. It's a righty on righty matchup. Carter set at the belt. Into the motion. Outside, 2-1. Infield playing regular depth, regular positioning. If anything, there's a big gap up the middle right behind Carter's head. The 2-1, check swing. Went low and he went around on the appeal. Count evens up 2-2. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 4th. Liendo calls time to readjust his batting gloves. The slight precipitation that was falling earlier has stopped. Now it's just the cold to deal with. The 2-2 from Carter. Barreled towards the gap, and it's a single for Liendo in between first and second. Trickles out towards the glove of Jace Borfin. And the Sea Dogs have got a runner on first.
First hit of the season for Liendo, and I think in this weather situation, any hit you'll take, especially an opposite field single, has to feel extra good to get the bat on the ball, and then you're able to drive it the other way.
Perfectly split the 2 defenders at first and second. Brings up the top of the order with Franklin Arias, who gets hit for the second time today in the exact same spot. That is going to leave a deep bruise on the back shoulder bone of Franklin Arias, who looks a little more shaken up by this second pitch, to be expected when you're nailed at the same place twice, Emma.
Absolutely. I mean, we even had Dr. Ali Howe kind of evaluate that a little bit, and she said anytime you're going to hit by a pitch, it's going to hurt a lot more. And Arias, unfortunately, got hit by 2 pitches, same spot.
That one 91 miles an hour. Imagine taking that one to your backbone. Runners on first and second, 1 gone, as ball 1 drops inside to Marvin Alcantara. Alcantara reached on a fielder's choice in the first, had a sac fly in the second to bring across a run for the Sea Dogs. The 1-0, power towards left field, back to the wall, and it is caught on the warning track as the runners trail back to first and second. An optical illusion. I thought that was heading out of the park, and instead it drops perfectly into the glove of Javon Ward, who was waiting for it at the wall. The energy in this stadium, you could feel it rise and fall with the fall of that ball. Runners stay where they are, 2 gone now in the bottom of the 4th. A loud second out brings up Nate Baez. The ball gets away from the catcher. Looked like it might have clipped Baez for a second, instead just bounced off the glove of Aaron Parker. Runners both advance. Runners on second and third now with 2 gone. Takes away that force everywhere but first.
Might have gotten the home plate umpire. I think going back to Alcantara's fly out, you know, I think also too in this weather, the ball does not fly well in cold weather to begin with. So even if you do barrel up and you make good contact, that's a pretty good chance it's just not going to cross that wall. And we see that, you know, exceptions to that rule from time to time, but it's just not ideal weather today.
One and 0 to Baez. Grounder, bounce towards second. The toss.
Barquisimeto of Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's a pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the second. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So 1 out to begin the bottom of the second.
Have you ever witnessed a once-in-a-lifetime moment of wild beauty? Do you want to? It requires a vehicle capable enough to handle nature's indifference, yet refined enough to keep you awake to its wonders. Every detail considered, so you can just be. Welcome to the Outerverse. Welcome to the Mazda CX-50.
The beauty of this jersey is the feel, the texture, the thin, the stitching is heavy, so you kind of feel that jersey that was very heavy. Check it out, the last name and the number, they have a little glitter on them, so they kind of stack up. It just feels right. I had some really cool cleats to go with it. The way it gets dirty when you slide, it just kind of like rubs off on that glitter. It's really, really cool.
Technology doesn't have to throw curveballs your way. From comprehensive technology services to hands-on expert support, our experienced IT team is here to keep things steady, respond quickly, and support your goals like a true all-star teammate. SystemArchitecture.net, an IT management company.
207-786-9770.
Back for the top of the 5th inning at Delta Dental Park, as Cade Doty comes to the plate for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. The shortstop has a walk and a strikeout today. This is his 3rd plate appearance. First pitch swung through and missed for strike 1. Ball 1 bounced in the dirt. We have a new pitcher out there. It's Patrick Halligan for the Sea Dogs. 1-1's the count to Doty. High fly ball foul over our heads to move the count to 1-2. Infield, regular position, regular depth. Halligan, one of the taller players on the team, as the 1-2 drops in there for a called strike 3. The fastball on the outer half at 95 blows by the batter.
We saw some of Patrick Halligan over the weekend. Made his debut on Friday. This is his fourth affiliate that he's played for.
High fly ball driven towards right field into foul territory. Taylor tracked over but couldn't make the play, so that is a foul ball for strike 1 against Goodwin, who's 1 for 1 today with a walk and a double in the second inning. That double scored a couple of runs. Halligan set the 0-1. Called strike 2, took some speed off of it, just about 86 miles an hour. A little bit more vertical break. 0-2's the count. Goodwin, the righty. The 0-2. Check swing on the ball outside. It's 1-2. Halligan last year began in the Braves system before he was acquired by the Astros. Played in Single A, Double A, and Triple A eventually by the end of the season. The 1-2 outside moves the count even at 2-2 before the Red Sox signed him as a minor league free agent in January of 2026. Has that fastball, slider, curveball, and splitter in his arsenal. The 2-2 bumped foul backwards, and the count stays the same. Halligan at 6'6", one of a number of pitchers on the Sea Dog staff over 6'6". They've got a tall roster in there. Another 2-2. Just off the plate, and the count is full. Goodwin already walked once today on a full count. Back when Hayden Mullins was on the bump. The payoff. Grounded to third, scooped, and the throw is on time from Liendo to Ferguson for the 5-3 put out, and that is out number 2.
The designated hitter, number 19, Barry Michelin Jr.
Back to the top of the order with Eddie Micheletti Jr. Already with his 4th plate appearance in 4 innings. 2 outs, nobody on. He fouls back, strike 1. Infield shifted to the pull side on the right for the lefty batter. Outfield is the same, playing about medium depth. Halligan set at the belt. Inside 1-1. Eddie Micheletti is known for his extra base pop. 2 home runs on the season already in the first 2 games for the Fisher Cats. The 1-1. Flown towards left field, trailing out of play, and it's into the bullpen for the Sea Dogs, as Turner couldn't get a jump on it. Will stay at 1-2. Micheletti is a Delaware native, drafted out of Virginia Tech in 2024. Made his way through A-ball in 2024, High A in 2025, and started the season with Double A New Hampshire. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Patrick Halligan has 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning to go through cleanly. 12-4.
Barquisimeto of Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the second. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So one out to begin the bottom of the second.
So we got a little throwback uni on, great socks, you feel me? So it's like we're going back in time. So I feel the presence of Jackie Robinson, you know what I'm saying? All those great guys. So yeah, we're going to play like them too.
Just love kind of having this logo here, Triple B's. You know, those guys went through a lot more than I probably can ever imagine. And, you know, it's a fight that they had to put up just so I can get here. And so getting the chance to even wear the jersey and get on the field and play is something huge.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the Elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
More successful than quitting cold turkey. Quit like a Mainer. Enroll online at MaineQuitLink.com or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Back for the bottom of the fifth at Delta Dental Park as the Sea Dogs try to cut into a huge lead by the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. They trail 12-4, and they have not put up a run since the bottom of the second. Irv Carter, the fourth, back to the bump for another inning of work as Miguel Blaze leads off the inning for Portland. First pitch, heading straight towards us, and it bounces off the visiting radio booth right to our right. And the count's 0-1 to Blaze.
Missed the booth, almost made it to the press box. Everyone's good.
Blaze golfs it foul. This time over to our left side as he seems to be missing us just barely, and the count's 0-2.
That's why you bring your glove.
Carter readies. Blaze steps back into the box after a quick time. The 0-2. Cut on and missed across the plate. Blaze was just reaching for it, hoping to put a bat to ball and live to see another day. Comes up empty, and Carter has a first strikeout of the inning.
Carter came off the mound really fired up, too. 3-pitch strikeout to start the inning.
Brings up Nellie Taylor in the lefty box against the righty pitcher. Taylor checks his swing at a called strike. He's down 0-1. Taylor has a sac fly and a strikeout today. His sac fly came back in the first as the 0-1 is inside and low at the knees. 1-1's the count. Nellie Taylor is one of the bigger personalities for Portland as he takes ball 2 inside. Good eye at the plate not to swing away at that one. Also has shown more of a vulnerable side at our Portland Sea Dogs Fan Fest, which was sponsored or held in honor of Make-A-Wish Maine. He told his personal story about how he overcame kidney cancer as he fouls away strike 2 out of play at age 5. Had 2 years of chemotherapy, and he told every kid in that room that they too can overcome anything as long as they put their mind to it, and they can go on to achieve their dreams in life as well. The 2-2 drops in low, and it's a called strike 3. Taylor protests and now hangs his head as he trots back to the dugout. Looked like he checked his swing and the pitch seemed low, but the umpire ruled he must have gone around on it, and it is another strikeout, though celebrated in a less jubilant fashion for Irv Carter the fourth. 2 down on 2 strikeouts brings up Max Ferguson in the lefty box. Ferguson rips it towards right field, over the head of Borfin, and he's into second. Max Ferguson, a liner to right, and he's aboard with a double. Can Portland get the 2-out rally going?
And if you were going to choose one guy to start a rally, I think it would be Max Ferguson. Added some leadership to the team, had that home run on Friday night, and another extra base hit here with a double.
Brings up Will Turner, who had a single his last time at the plate, managed to steal second, got caught stealing at third, trying to make his way around. First pitch to Turner, outside high, ball 1. McDonough takes his lead at second. Carter, a quick peek. Kicks, deals. Turner thought about it, held back, strike 1. One and one to the left fielder, Carter. Just misses inside. It's a tough take, and it goes his way as Turner moves ahead 2-1. Carter delivers. Flown towards center, coming in. Caught. Falling over. No, it was not caught. Drops in between the center fielder and the shortstop. That's Ismael Munguia and Cade Doughty coming in together, trying to converge on it. And it falls right in between them. A ball that's sky high. And with 2 outs running on anything, Ferguson comes around to score. So the Sea Dogs put a run up in the bottom of the 5th for the first time since the 2nd, thanks to what ends up being essentially a blooper, but the second hit of the day also for Will Turner.
And that was just placed perfectly shallow enough out of the reach of Munguia. And then deep enough for Goodwin. And that would have been a tough play for Goodwin looking over his shoulder. But Sea Dogs not going away quietly, still trying to put some hits together.
Score is 12-5 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. A runner on first, that's Will Turner, who every time I say his name, I just automatically think of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
That's a throwback.
Shout out Orlando Bloom out there. 0-1 to Tyler McDonough with 1 aboard, 2 gone. The pitch inside, 1-1. McDonough has a walk and a strikeout today. That strikeout came on a full count in the 4th. Outside, 2-1, McDonough moves ahead. McDonough has played all around the middle infield. He's played a lot at shortstop. Today at second. The middle infield is very crowded for this Sea Dogs roster, a really talented group. The 2-1, inside, 3-1.
Yeah, with middle infield, and then you throw in Abram Liendo at third base, but can play second as well. Sea Dogs infield very talented this year.
Ball 4, I thought, but it's called strike 2. At the shoulders nearly for McDonough as the count runs full. Small lead at first from Turner as McDonough calls time. And steps back to the lefty box, foot on the back line. Waving that bat, the payoff inside, ball 4. Runners on first and second as the 2-out rally continues to mount. Brings up Abram Liendo in the 9-hole for his 3rd plate appearance.
New Hampshire now has issued 10 walks today.
First pitch to Liendo goes after it. It's fouled back for strike one.
Excuse me, Portland's issued 10 walks. Fisher Cats have issued 5.
I was going to say that was somewhat surprising to me, given how we had 8 runs on the board before a single hit occurred. 0-1, the pitch. Crosses the plate on the inner corner, traveled all the way across the front half of the plate with that outer spinning break to Liendo at just 83 miles an hour, and he's down 0-2. 2 gone, 2 aboard, down by 7. Carter readies, fires. Soft hit grounder, gloved at short, and the stretch does not get there. The ball comes out of the glove. The bases are loaded for Portland. Doty tried to get there to Horning, who went almost into a full split and could not hang on to the ball as he tried to keep his balance. Hit after hit coming for the Sea Dogs. As we're back to the top of the order with Franklin Arias. Ruling pending on that from our official scorer, whether it will be a single or an error. And it is ruled an E3. Bases loaded.
Accidents happen.
Arias takes a ball inside. Franklin Arias has been nailed twice in the back today with fastballs, and he walked. So he's reached space in all 3 plate appearances as we have a meeting at the mound. Likely Austin Bibbins-Dirks coming out, the pitching coach, especially as we know since John Tamargo Jr. is not in the dugout after he was ejected earlier in the 2nd inning. Carter will stay out there. Counts 1-0 to Arias. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 12-6. 12-5 is the score for the Sea Dogs. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. For one of the better hitters on this team, as Arias takes strike one. Actually was called the best hitter in the Red Sox organization by Baseball America entering the 2025 season. And he lines it to left. Caught diving play by Javon Ward. For the 3rd out of the inning, it was a close one, nearly in the grass, and Ward laid out.
Picked up right where he left off last year. First pitch with a runner breaking, popped into shallow right center. Bradfield on the run along with Fabian, a diving play for the out. And with Jones running, he will easily be doubled up at first base. Just a matter of whether Fabian or Bradfield could make the play. Fabian did. Couldn't tell if Holiday put a little deke on Jones there. He went in head first on the dive. I don't think he had any idea.
I remember the first series I had, the first home run I hit was a grand slam against Seattle, which was the team that I had played for the year before. As we know, Cleveland can get a little cold, so we'll wear the dark blue long sleeves. And for some reason, this jersey, I always liked my jersey a little longer. The reasons for it, for a little padding, so when I would slide, I wouldn't get all patched up and roughed up.
The Bhutanese dragon is a very uniquely designed dragon, and so we did have to make sure that we were staying very true to the dragon that you see behind me.
We had to get special permission from the Bhutan Olympic Committee because this is a national flag, so luckily we've been working with the Olympic Committee the whole time, so it was a very easy approval process once we sent the appropriate documentation.
The whole creative design was done by the Hudson Valley Renegades. They did an amazing job.
Borrow money with confidence and save for the future. Because we know that the people that keep this place running are the ones that make it feel like home. Lighthouse Credit Union, for those who keep the lights on.
Top of the sixth at Delta Dental Park, Patrick Halligan back to the mound for another inning of work. The Sea Dogs have retired 7 in a row, but they've given up 12 runs already, mostly off a 10-run second inning. 8 of those were scored before a single hit was recorded by the Fisher Cats. Jace Borfin at the plate, 0 for 2 today, facing down the 6'6" Halligan. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. The Sea Dogs infield shaded to the right side. That's the pull side for the lefty Borfin. The 0-1. Another swing and a miss, and he is down 0-2 quickly as Halligan continues to pound the zone with these off speeds. That one at just 81 miles an hour. Halligan covers the chin with his glove, now set at the belt. The 0-2. Called strike 3 on the outside half. Not even an attempt from Borfin as he goes down on 3 pitches. 8 in a row for the Sea Dogs.
First baseman Jackson Horning.
Brings up the first baseman Jackson Horning from Ashland, Massachusetts. First pitch. Strike 1. 86 miles an hour from Halligan, top of the zone, little bit of vertical break. Infield back to their regular depth, regular spacing against the righty batter. Halligan delivers. Outside, 1-1. The 1-1 on a line over the glove of the leaping Alcantara. Fielded in center. And that's a base hit, a single for Jackson Horning. It's his second hit of the day. He's reached base 3 times, was also hit by a pitch back in the second. And that brings up Sean Keys, the cleanup hitter. New Hampshire has been held off the board for 3 innings, scoreless in the 4th and 5th. Still with a comfortable lead, 12-5. 1 gone, top of the 6th. Small lead at first. Strike 1 on the inside half to Keys. Keys is a lefty, a shift to the pull side. Halligan readies, fires. Inside, good hold by Keys, 1-1. Sean Keys was drafted in 2024 by the Blue Jays. Bats left, throws right. Has worked his way up from the single A to the high A and now the double A level as a pitch sails wide for ball 2. Two and 2 to Keys. Off the plate, the count runs full. Halligan ready at the belt. Deep breath. Runner goes, and it is ball 4 outside. Barely missed. But Keys uses that good eye to his advantage, and there's runners at first and second. A single from Horning, a walk from Sean Keys, who had 86 of them in 119 games last year for Vancouver. First pitch already fired in there for strike one to Parker. Halligan really moving quickly, faster than the pitch clock. The sun is finally setting as the skies darken. The lights are on here at Hadlock Field. High fly ball to left. It's in play. Underneath it, Will Turner. And the runners have to hold at first and second, as the second out of the inning is recorded by Halligan.
Left field number 24, Javon.
And that brings up Javon Ward. The left fielder ended the bottom half of the fifth with an excellent diving grab to take away a hit from Franklin Arias that would have scored one, if not two, for the Sea Dogs as part of a two-out rally led by Matt Ferguson. Big cut and miss for strike one from Ward. Ward, the lefty, against Halligan, the righty. Halligan set at the belt. The 0-1. Drops towards the knees in the zone, 0-2. Halligan, 3 strikeouts already, looking for a fourth. The 0-2. Strike 3, a swing and a miss, ends the inning. Patrick Halligan leaves 2 on board, 4 strikeouts for the tall righty. Sea Dogs hold them scoreless again, still trail 12-5, heading to the bottom half of this.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Lifted high in the air down the third base line. Third baseman Morales near the sidewall, reaching out over the netting. He reels it inside, retired. A couple of really nice plays defensively in this game.
I thought they knocked it out the park, no pun intended. Great fit, too. That's always a big thing.
You can never overstate what Hank means. I mean, him and Willie. I mean, to me, they're royalty.
This is definitely something way bigger than me, so to just be able to be included in this, absolute honor, man.
I just love the name of what I'm representing. Obviously, what's on my back. You know, we celebrate Juneteenth. We celebrate the life of Willie Mays. So I'm just grateful out here, man.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings. This ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a...
We're just getting started. Northern Light Mercy Hospital. How are you?
Truly the highlight of the day.
Medical Center. We hope they get better soon. Let's join Slaughter and hit the kids. I'll get well ready.
Bottom of the 6th inning at Hadlock Field. Sea Dogs trailing 12-5. They put up 1 in the bottom of the 5th. They've got a long way to go if they want to make a comeback. Irv Carter, the 4th, back to the mound. He's been dealing so far. Has given up 1 earned run in 2 innings pitched. And he faces off against Marvin Alcantara, who takes strike 1 looking. The bottom half ended with a Franklin Arias fly out to left field with the bases loaded, as Alcantara holds back on ball 1 just off the plate. Regular spacing, the 1-1, inside 2-1. Alcantara has reached on a fielder's choice all the way back in the 1st. He had an RBI on a sac fly and a fly out his last time around. Ahead 2-1 against Carter, the pitch. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Alcantara, one of a few Venezuelan natives, got to celebrate that World Baseball Classic win earlier this year. The 3-1 skied, popped up behind the plate, and out of play over the netting as Parker tried to track it down, and it bounced around in the stands. Looked like a game of pinball. Full count to Alcantara. Carter holds the ball behind his back, now set. The payoff, called strike 3, top of the zone. Alcantara saw it tracking inwards, didn't get enough on it, and he goes down looking for the first out of the inning.
The catcher, number 12, Nate Baez.
Brings up Nate Baez, who had a double earlier today. Also reached, hit by a pitch in the first. He takes strike 1 on the outside half, 90-mile-an-hour fastball, paints the black. Righty on righty pitching matchup, slight pull on the defense. Ball 1 outside. There's a big gap behind the pitcher, and there's a big gap between first and second for Baez to attack. The 1-1. Cut and miss from Baez. He's down 1-2. Nate Baez was acquired from Minnesota for Tristan Gray as part of a trade in January. Went to Arizona State, originally drafted in 2022 as the 1-2. Comes in low, it's 2-2. Carter nods, now sets. Baez taps the plate and readies. The 2-2. Outside, and the count is full. Back-to-back full counts. Last one ended with a strikeout looking. How does Carter play this one as Baez resets? Carter into the motion, the payoff, low, ball 4, and the Sea Dogs have a base runner. Baez will take his time down the line to first as Miguel Blaze follows him up.
The Central cleanup hitter, center fielder Miguel Blaze.
A meeting at the mound for New Hampshire, as it looks like the day might be done for Irv Carter. He high-fives his teammates and walks off the field, so we will step aside as New Hampshire makes a pitching change. This is the Sea Dogs Radio Network presented by Verizon.
They don't have numbers on the front, so can't. Leading off the top of the first inning is the Substance Ale, Bissell Brothers flagship IPA. Hailing from Portland, Maine, standing at 16 ounces tall, Subby, as his teammates call him, was an early standout in his 2013 season debut, delivering bright and balanced hop flavor alongside smooth, crisp, Maine-made satisfaction. Find Bissell Brothers all season long at Hadlock Field. You earned it, bud.
You put your whole heart into this place because you're proud to be a New Englander, working long hours, helping neighbors, and giving every day your all. Lighthouse Credit Union was created by and for your community to help you stretch every dollar, borrow money with confidence, and save for the future. Because we know that the people that keep this place running are the ones that make it feel like home. Lighthouse Credit Union, for those who keep the lights on.
Cats, 23 years old, drafted by the Blue Jays in 2023, spent part of last season in New Hampshire 9 games, all out of the bullpen with a 4.7 ERA. The lefty will face off against the righty Miguel Blaze, who makes his way back to the righty box. Runner on first with 1 gone for the Sea Dogs. That runner is Nate Baez, who just walked to end Irv Carter's day. First pitch, Blaze hammers it to left field. It's heading towards the wall. It's gone! Blaze over the monster! 2-run score for the Portland Sea Dogs! Trotted out Miguel Blaze. The Sea Dogs back to striking distance, 12-7. But how's that for a highlight play? Long gone, 108 off the bat for Miguel Blaze.
And over the monster, no less. On a very cold night, very impressive power coming from Blaze.
Brings up Nelly Taylor with the bases empty, as Miguel Blaze fires up the ballpark with a slightly thinning crowd on this cold Tuesday evening. Taylor wants a piece of it with an aggressive swing and miss as his count moves to 1-1.
Looks like that one was 108 off the bat.
One out, 1-1, inside 2-1 to Taylor. He struck out twice today and has a sac fly for an RBI back in the first. Peterson at the top of the zone, 2-2. Shift to the pull side for the lefty in the infield. Heels on the edge of the grass. Peterson crouches back to his stance, the 2-2. Taylor dribbles it towards the first baseline on a flip to Peterson, who comes over for the 3-1 put away, 2 gone.
First baseman number 10, Max Ferguson.
Brings up Max Ferguson, whose double started a 2-out rally in the 5th. He ended up coming across to score as the lone run in the bottom half for the Sea Dogs, who have now played at 2 thanks to that Blaze home run in the 6th. Emma, we mentioned back in the second, third inning, the Sea Dogs would have to chip away at this lead. That's exactly what they've done. Still not quite in reach at 12-7, but we're just in the 6th. Plenty of game to play. As Peterson faces down Drew Earhart, actually, who is pinch hitting for Max Ferguson. Oh, 0-1 to Earhart. Swings and misses, down 0-2. Lefty on righty, Peterson and Earhart. The 0-2. Flared foul and out of play over the Expo for Earhart. He'll stay at 0-2. Another 0-2, outside 1-2, as Earhart lives to see another day. Drew Earhart, a catcher, has also played some first base as ball 2 is inside. He'll take over at first base for Max Ferguson. The 2-2 outside. He's moved the count full from 0-2 as Earhart tries to follow up Ferguson, who he subbed in for, and start this 2-out rally. He spent some time in Portland in both 2024 and 2025. The payoff. In the dirt, ball 4. Earhart takes a base.
And that's your typical Drew Earhart at bat. He's really patient. He's really good at fouling off pitches, really increasing the pitcher's pitch count, and he's able to work his way out of an 0-2 hole to work the count full. He just has such a good command of the strike zone as he keeps the inning alive.
Peterson checks his runner. First pitch in there for a strike against Will Turner, who's had back-to-back singles. Turner takes a ball outside, 1-1. Will Turner has reached base in all 3 plate appearances today with a walk and 2 singles. It has been a great day for the left fielder. The 1-1 under it for a foul, pushed back to the netting, 1-2. Just a small lead at first from Earhart. Peterson leans back, readies, fires, strike 3.
That's really hot. Need captions? Canva adds captions for you. We gon' bring that. Tap. We gon' That's really hot. Try Canva video today.
Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 27-year-old. Here's the pitch. Lined in the shallow right. In comes Pinckney towards the line. Galloping forward, dives! Makes a spectacular catch! Andrew Pinckney lunging out and making a slip and slide grab near the right field foul line for the first out of the bottom of the second. And then Pinckney laying out there and reeling it in. So 1 out to begin the bottom of the second.
The Bhutanese dragon is a very uniquely designed dragon, and so we did have to make sure that we were staying very true to the dragon that you see behind me.
We had to get special permission from the Bhutan Olympic Committee because this is a national flag, so luckily we've been working with the Olympic Committee the whole time, so it was a very easy approval process once we sent the appropriate documentation.
The whole creative design was done by the Hudson Valley Renegades. They did an amazing job.
Technology doesn't have to throw curveballs your way. From comprehensive technology services to hands-on expert support, our experienced IT team is here to keep things steady, respond quickly, and support your goals like a true all-star teammate. Systemarchitecture.net, an IT management company.
Top of the 7th inning back in Portland, Maine. The Sea Dogs trailing 12-7 behind the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. We have Patrick Halligan on the mound for another inning of work. The tall right-hander will face 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. Ismael Munguia lead things off, had a 2-run single in the second and a sacrifice fly. His first at-bat of the second inning as the first pitch from Halligan misses low and outside for ball 1. Field shifted to the right side. Halligan kicks and fires the 1-0 pitch. Goes high and away that time. Swing and a miss. Chases it. The count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander readies. The 1-1. This is high and away, ball 2. Patrick Halligan playing for his 4th major league club and has played for 11 minor league teams over his career. The 2-1. Swing, and Munguia fouls it left side out of play, and the count evens. 1 ball and 1 strike. Halligan on the mound for his 3rd inning of relief work, and this is his 2nd appearance for the Sea Dogs this season. Kicks the 2-2. Swing, and he spoils another pitch, foul left side out of play, and the count remains even at 2. And Halligan last season split time between 3 different teams. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a foul tip held on by Baez for strike 3, and out number 1 in the top of the 7th inning. That is already the 5th strikeout for Halligan. And brings the shortstop Kate Doty to the plate. But Halligan, historically, the walks have been a little bit of an issue. He's such a large presence on the mound. 6'6". There's the first pitch to Doty. Foul tip at the plate for strike 1. But he had a 143 whip last season between those 3 different levels I mentioned. But so far in 2026, he's been fantastic. Being able to locate the strike zone as the 0-1 pitch misses low. The count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. He has issued a walk tonight, but he has 5 strikeouts.
He's looked really confident around the zone, very in control of his location. He's been bringing the speed.
Pitch misses outside, ball 2.
But again, just barely missing a pitch that easily could have been swung out or even called a strike.
Two 2-1. Swing, and Doty fouls it right side out of play. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And in a night on both sides, too. I mean, it's not really just Sea Dogs pitching. It's all pitching right now in this weather. But Halligan has seemed to kind of settle the Sea Dogs down a little bit. There's the 2-2. Swing, and he fouls one back towards us. Will fall a couple rows ahead of us. That count stays even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Retired the first 4 batters that he had faced, gave up a single and a walk, was able to pitch around them, and now has retired 3 in a row after the strikeout of Munguia. 2-2. Fouled straight back again. And Doty working a good at-bat, taking his time against Halligan, seeing as many pitches as possible. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Halligan at 44 pitches. He sets again. Baez sets up on the inside part of the plate, the 2-2 home. Swing, and he fouls another one right side. You always hold your breath when you see a foul ball go to the right side, because that's staff parking over there. And you hope you don't get a text message in about 30 seconds with a picture of your car. There's the 2-2 again. Called strike 3. Halligan with the off-speed inside freezes Kate Doty. After it was 4 foul balls in a row, Doty just watches it fly by him, and that's the 3rd consecutive strikeout, 6th strikeout of the outing for Halligan. Takes care of the second out, and here's Nick Goodwin.
That was just a gorgeous pitch. Totally dropped off at the bottom of the zone, off speed, out of rhythm.
Puts a fastball, same location for a called strike to Nick Goodwin. And it seems like Halligan is doing a good job of changing velocities. There's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball low and outside. Looked to be the slider. And he's quickly ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. Bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. Infield and outfield playing straight away as the sun is mostly set here in Portland. No breeze. There's no wind.
That flag just a dead hang in center field.
1-2, swing and a miss.
Giving up Josh Naylor, who was on an expiring deal. Oh, that was nasty. A sweeper and a sword on Brock Rodden.
Wow, we're really hot. Need captions? Gamba adds captions for you.
We gon' bring that.
That's hot.
We gon'
That's really hot. Try Canva video today.
Vituo fished it out to short left center. Lara over into the alleyway, dives! Oh, he's got it! Full extension, and he saves a run.
Look at that, up the middle. Nice play.
Right off the backside of the mound, and Cerna to first. What a play by Jared Cerna!
The 2-2. Oliva, a little looper out into short left, and it's a diving catch by Levi Jordan. What a play! He just made a spectacular grab for the first out of the inning.
Guzman kicks and deals, and he got him. A swinging strike 3. The Binghamton Rumble Pony. They capture their 4th Eastern League title with an 8-2 win over the Erie Seawolves.
And free nicotine gum, patches, and lozenges. Because quitting tobacco with a little extra help is more successful than quitting cold turkey. Quit like a Mainer. Enroll online at MaineQuitLink.com or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Bottom of the 7th inning back in Portland, the Sea Dogs trailing 12-7 behind the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, but the Sea Dogs have plated 3 runs in the last 2 innings. One in the bottom of the 5th inning, and then it was a 2-run blast by Miguel Blaze in the bottom of the 6th inning. On the other side of the book tonight, Patrick Halligan, 3 innings of relief with 7 strikeouts. First pitch swing, and it's fouled back to our right for strike 1.
That's all balls off to the third wetlands presented by Ducks Unlimited.
Kai Peterson back on the mound for another inning of work for the Fisher Cats. McDonough in on the right side. 0-1. Called strike on the low and inside corner. Peterson drafted in 2023 in the 20th round. Fastball slider. 0-2. Misses low and inside for ball 1. Spent last season with High A Vancouver. Had a .274 ERA and 29 appearances with the Canadians. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Goes upstairs with the fastball for strike 3 and out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th.
Third baseman number 51.
Brings Abram Liendo to the plate. Liendo has reached base twice tonight. Single back in the 4th and reached on a dropped throw error by the first baseman in the 5th. First pitch is a called strike in the low and inside corner. Peterson bids at the waist, nods to his catcher Parker as he readies. 0-1. Swing and a foul ball back towards us. Lucky fans going home with a free souvenir.
Now I see how fast these balls can come towards us, Emma. That one scared me a little bit.
That's why I tell you, just get out of the way if a foul ball comes back here. Don't be a hero.
That one was a laser in the stands just in front of us.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. Peterson sets again the pitch. Swing, and Liendo skies it right side of the infield, charging in his Hornick, the first baseman. And he makes the catch for the second out in the bottom of the 7th inning, almost with 1 foot in foul territory, 1 foot in fair territory. It's back to the top of the batting order with Franklin Arias. Arias has had a bit of a painful night tonight. Has been hit by a pitch twice. First in the first inning. Drew a walk in the second. Was hit by a pitch again in the fourth in a really similar location. Had a fly out in the fifth. The pitch. Swing, and he drives it high to right.
Giving up Josh Naylor, who was on an expiring deal. Oh, that was nasty. A sweeper and a sword on Brock Roddick.
The 2-2. Oliva, a little looper out into short left, and it's a diving catch by Levi Jordan. What a play! He just made a spectacular grab for the first out of the inning.
Wow, really hot. Need captions? Gamba adds captions for you.
We gon' bring that.
That's hot.
We gon'
That's really hot. Try Canva video today.
Guzman kicks and deals, and he got him. A swinging strike three. The Binghamton Rumble Pony. They capture their fourth Eastern League title with an 8-2 win over the Erie Seawolves.
Look at that, up the middle. Nice play.
Right off the backside of the mound, and Cerna to first. What a play by Jared Cerna.
Vituo fished it out to short left center. Lara over into the alleyway, dives. Oh, he's got it. Full extension, and he saves a run.
Every dollar, borrow money with confidence and save for the future. Because we know that the people that keep this place running are the ones that make it feel like home. Lighthouse Credit Union, for those who keep the lights on.
Top of the eighth inning back in Portland, the Sea Dogs trailing 12-7 behind the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. They'll be top of the lineup for the Fisher Cats. Eddie Micheletti Jr., Jace Borfin, and then Jackson Hornick. Micheletti Jr. in on the left side. First pitch. Called strike on the high and outside corner.
We've got a pitching change. It's Max Carlson out there. They decided to let Patrick Halligan have a break and end while he was ahead at 7 strikeouts and just over 2 innings pitched.
Fires in the 1-0, and it's a called strike on the low and outside corner.
Carlson coming in with the velo in the low 90s. Slight shift in the infield, but mostly regular positioning for Micheletti Jr.
1-1. Called strike 2 on the low and outside corner. Carlson, 6'1", 190 pounds, out of Edina, Minnesota. Readies again. Here's the 1-2. Misses low and outside, and the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Carlson is definitely used to this weather, growing up in Minnesota. Saints and the AAA Woo Sox had some games affected by snow last week in St. Paul, Minnesota. Here's the 2-2. Off speed, and it's a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Freezes Micheletti Jr. for the first down, the top of the 8th.
Right field number 8, Jace Borfin.
Carlson made his 2026 debut on Friday against the Somerset Patriots. Right-hander comes set. The pitch. Swing and a miss. For strike 1 against Jace Borfin. Scored one of the 10 runs in the top of the second. Right-hander readies. And the pitch. Check swing. They appeal down to the third base umpire, Liana Ricks. And she says that Borfin went around. He's now quickly down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh-2 from Carlson. Just misses a little bit low for ball 1. Carlson drafted out of the University of North Carolina. Spent all last season with the Greenville Drive. He readies again. 1-2. Swing and a one-hopper hit to the second baseman. McDonough fields it with his heels on the outfield grass and makes the throw to first. Quickly 2 away.
First baseman,
That brings Jackson Hornig.
Jackson Hornig.
Now, Hornig having a multi-hit night, and there's 19 combined runs between these two teams and only 10 combined hits.
It's really an odd night in terms of scoring.
First pitch misses high and inside for ball 1.
10 runs in the second inning for New Hampshire, 2 in the third, and none since. The Sea Dogs have spread it out a little bit more and still trail by 5.
1-0 pitch, it's a called strike. Portland just needs a bloop and a blast a couple times, and we've got ourselves a brand new ball game. But it seems like Portland's offense has kind of picked up as the game has gone along. It's a 1-1 pitch. It's popped up foul right side out of play towards the tarp for strike 2.
The takeaway from Portland here is you give up all those runs off a bunch of mistakes. Really cold night, pitches outside the zone, hit batters, walks all over the place. But you see a big boost from your offense that you haven't seen so far this season. So it's definitely
a big swing and a miss from Carlson.
The 2-2. Oliva, a little looper out into short left, and it's a diving catch by Levi Jordan. What a play! He just made a spectacular grab for the first out of the inning.
That's really hot. Need captions? Gamba adds captions for you.
We gon' bring that.
That's hot.
We gon'
That's really hot. Try Canva video today.
Lifted high in the air down the third base line. Third baseman Morales near the sidewall, reaching out over the netting. He reels it inside, retired. A couple of really nice plays defensively in this game.
Giving up Josh Naylor, who was on an expiring deal. Oh, that was nasty. A sweeper and a sword on Brock Roddick.
The 2-0. Fisted out to short left center. Lara over into the alleyway. Dives! Oh, he's got it! Full extension, and he saves a run.
And hello, advanced facilities within reach. It's time to welcome brand new beginnings, because we're just getting started. Northern Light Mercy Hospital. How are you?
Bottom of the 8th inning in Portland, the Sea Dogs continue to trail 12-7 behind the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Fisher Cats go to the bullpen. It is the right-hander and Connor Larkin. Bottom of the 8th. Portland with 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors. New Hampshire with 12 runs on 4 hits and 1 error.
Leading off for the Sea Dogs is shortstop Marvin Alcantara.
Marvin Alcantara will lead things off. 2, 3, and 4 due up against the right-hander. First pitch. Called strike right down the middle. Larkin, 6 foot, 225 pounds. 9th round selection by Toronto in 2021. Member of the Fisher Cats last year, in 2024. As the 0-1 is a called strike, and Alcantara quickly down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes, but if the Sea Dogs were to make a late innings push, this is when to start with. You have Alcantara, Baez, and Blaze due up. As the 0-2 pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Alcantara has an RBI, a run scored, and a stolen base already. Baez has scored 2 runs, including having an RBI double. And then Blaze had the 2-run homer in the 6th. 1-2. Misses low and outside, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Alcantara went down looking his last time at the plate, has a sac fly, a fly out, reached on a fielder's choice. Has had a varied night at the plate.
2-2 misses low and outside for ball 3.
Back-to-back at-bats with a full count. Last one ended in a strikeout.
Here's the payoff from Larkin. Misses low and outside, ball 4. That one was close. Larkin thought that was going to be a called strike 3. He's ready to walk off the mound, but instead that's ball 4. And the Sea Dogs have a leadoff base runner. Here comes the catcher, Nate Baez.
Catcher number 12, Nate Baez.
But another really patient at-bat for Marvin Alcantara.
Baez has had a really solid night. He's reached twice on a hit by pitch and a walk. Also has a double on top of that. So he's reached 3 times with 1 hit.
First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1.
He's shown really good plate discipline, as catchers often do.
1-0, misses inside, ball 2. Yeah, they do get to see the strike zone every half inning. So it would make sense. Larkin comes set. The 2-0, misses low and outside, ball 3.
What's interesting about Baez as a catcher is he caught just 46 games in college and 110 games behind the plate in the minors. He's been developed as a catching prospect since 2022, even though he didn't play the majority of his college years as a catcher, but starts the season in Portland as their number 1.
A 3-0 pitch is a called strike on the inside part of the plate. And if you're an up-and-coming catcher in the Red Sox organization, this is where you want to be because you have Chad Epperson as your manager. Spent 7 years as a catching coordinator for Boston as the 3-1 pitch is a called strike. Baez thought that was ball 4, but instead it is called strike 2, and it's back-to-back full counts worked against Connor Larkin, the new pitcher. 3-2. And Baez gets a piece of that pitch. It was going to end up inside, but he fights it off and stays alive. But you hear catchers come through Portland, Kyle Teal included, just rave about Epi and the way that he works with his catchers, and he certainly looks out for his catchers. Here's the 3-2 again. Swing, and Baez pops it up first base side, foul territory. It's going to stay on the warning track over the half wall and out of reach of Hornig over at first base, and that is a new addition to Delta Dental Park, is the new half wall over there. As we had a lot of improvements over the offseason. New field was one of them, and with it came a new fence down the right field line. Here's the 3-2. Swing, and Baez pops it up the other way. Foul territory, third base side. Keys comes in, and he makes the catch for the first out in the bottom of the 8th inning. But going back to that last foul ball, this time last year, Hornig would have easily been able to make that catch, but now, with that wall there, it cuts down some opportunities for fielders to catch those foul balls down the first base and right field line. It's where we have hidden away the Tart Monster as well. There's a first pitch to Miguel Blaze, and it's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. So with those new field improvements, the playing surface, subsurface, it's all brand new. Irrigation as well. There's the 0-1. Swing, and Blaze fouls it back to our left. Takes a bounce in the seats.
Down 0-2 quickly, coming off a home run over the main monster. Would love to know how many feet that traveled as it cleared the wall by about 5 feet.
Just to the left of the Citgo sign, the 0-2, and Blaze drills it deep into left field again. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Ward moves over in front of the warning track and makes the catch for the second out of the inning, and Alcantara retreats to first.
Everybody clap your hands.
Here comes Nelly Taylor.
Now batting the system up, catcher.com fifth batter, number 3, Nelly Taylor.
Sea Dogs trailing 12-7 here in the bottom of the 8th inning, still with that leadoff base runner, Marvin Alcantara, standing over at first. Taylor with the open stance on the left side. First pitch from Larkin. Swing and a miss on the fastball outside for strike one. Larkin features a fastball, cutter, sweeper, and a changeup. He looks into his catcher, Parker. 0-1. Called strike on the low and outside corner, and now Taylor quickly down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes, much like Miguel Blaze. So Connor Larkin just trying to have a little bit of a bounce back few at-bats here following the leadoff walk he issued to Alcantara. The 0-2. Swing, and Taylor fights it off, foul, straight back into the netting.
After that walk, you're right, Emma, Larkin has been pounding the strike zone. 20 pitches, 13 strikes for Larkin. These last few batters have all fallen behind in the count and have been forced to really battle at the plate.
Yeah, 0-2 count for Baez, 0-2 count for Blaze, and now an 0-2 count for Taylor. The pitch, check swing, they appeal, and he went around for strike 3. Out number 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. We have
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings. This ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead. The next pitch. Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller Line landing. 2 at-bats tonight. 2 home runs, driving in 5.
So we got a little throwback Union, Gray Sox, you feel me? So it's like we're going back in time. So I feel the presence of Jackie Robinson, you know what I'm saying? All those great guys. So yeah, we're going to play like them too.
Just love kind of having this logo here, Triple B's.
Support your goals like a true all-star teammate. Systemarchitecture.net, an IT management company.
The Sea Dogs trailing 12-7 with Max Carlson on the mound for another inning of work. As we're waiting on, the pitch clock. Notice this last year too is, I think the players have been so accustomed now to the pitch clock because they use it in spring training obviously, and now it's been enforced the last couple of years. Here's the first pitch to Sean Keys, and it's a called strike on the low and outside corner. But it was odd. It was a series in Hartford last season that it started this trend of players and pitchers getting ready before the pitch clock runs down, as the 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 2. But the umpires won't let them start unless there's really, like home plate umpire Justin Juska, there was 20 seconds on the clock, and that's whenever he allowed Keys to step in the batter's box. 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball 1. And in that series in Hartford, I think it must have been 6 or 7 times, we were actually waiting for the pitch clock, which is never anything I ever expected to say calling baseball. As the 1-2 pitch is lined hard to center field. It's a leadoff single here in the top of the 9th.
Nice piece of hitting from Keys, who just squares away the contact and lines it straight over the pitcher's head to stand aboard as a leadoff base runner.
And here's Aaron Parker, runner at first and nobody out. Carlson sets the pitch, swing and a Foul ball over our heads. Might hit the roof of the press box or seat. Just to our left for strike one.
If you look under the stadium lights, Emma, you can see a little bit of mist in the air. It's like the air is heavy and wet, but nothing's actually coming down on the players.
0-1 misses outside for ball one. I'll tell you, this is some special weather we're having today.
I was going to say miserable, but special works too.
No, we're getting through it. It's great. It's baseball season now.
It's opening day.
A 1-1 pitch, runner goes, check swing, he went around, throw down to second, not in time.
Kind of opening day.
Keys swipes second base, and Parker is at the plate with a 1-2 count. It is quite the stat to say that we've had opening day each of the last 3 seasons. Here's the 1-2. Beautiful breaking ball. Is a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Takes care of the first out in the top of the 9th inning.
Carlson has looked really solid in this outing so far. 21 pitches, 15 of those are strikes. He's mixing up the velocities. That breaking ball at 79 miles an hour looked like the first strike of the count as well. So much, both vertical and horizontal break, really deceptive coming out of the hand, and no one's been swinging at it because they don't know where it's going.
First pitch to Javon Ward is a called strike. And Ward 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored back in the 2nd inning. That was his second plate appearance of the 2nd inning. 0-1. This is high and outside, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Carlson tries to go back to that fastball, and it is still pretty chilly, and so I think as the season warms up a little bit, we'll see those guys' velocities tick up a little bit. Here's the 1-1, and it misses outside for ball 2. Keys tags back up at second base. Carlson sets. The 2-1. Called strike on the low and outside corner, and really trying to hammer home those corners inside and outside low with that breaking ball. Saw success with it with Parker, so why not go after Ward with the same? Ward back in on the left side. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's the fastball. Speeds it up on him. And it's back-to-back strikeouts here in the top of the 9th inning. That is strikeout number 4 for Carlson.
Took the words out of my mouth, Emma. I was going to say again, mixing up those velocities. Hits him with the breaking ball, low 80s, high 70s. Brings the heat with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Changes up the rhythm. Batter out of system, and that's 2 gone.
Munguia in on the left side, first pitch. Misses outside for ball 1. First pitch fastball that time from Carlson. So runner in at second base. Sean Keys reached on the leadoff single. The 1-0. Misses outside, ball 2. And Munguia today's at 3 RBI, singled back in the 2nd inning. The 2-0. Called strike in the low and outside corner, and Munguia's single in the 2nd. That was the only hit of that inning for New Hampshire. They scored 10 runs in that inning. The 2-1. Misses upstairs, ball 3. Carlson sets up on the first base side of the rubber. He comes set. The 3-1. Just misses outside, ball 4 as he goes back to the fastball. And now runners at first and second. The inning continues for Cade Doty.
Another ball that barely missed the zone and speaks to what we've seen all night, which is these New Hampshire batters have really tightened up the zone that they're willing to swing at because of the number of balls and walks they've seen tonight.
First pitch swinging for Doty is grounded foul, third base side for strike one. They've been very selective in their swings, that's for sure. Carlson looks in.
They've been rewarded with 11 walks for it.
The 0-1 is a swing and a miss for strike two. Carlson, though, definitely keeping them on their heels a little bit. A really good job of mixing up velocities. Right-hander comes set. The pitch. Just misses low and outside. Tried to go back to the breaking ball, but it misses for ball one.
18 total strikeouts tonight so far for New Hampshire.
1-2. Swing and a miss, strike.
Here's the pitch from Ryan. Swings this ball hit pretty well. Deep left field. Is it going to be a fair ball? Yes, and a 3-run home run by Charlie Condon. And Albuquerque puts up a crooked number early to take a 3-0 lead. The next pitch. Swings, and this is crushed again. Long gone again for Condon. Past the Miller Line landing. 2 at-bats tonight, 2 home runs, driving in 5.
Ever witness a once-in-a-lifetime moment of wild beauty? It requires a vehicle capable enough, yet refined enough, so you can just be. Welcome to the Outerverse. Welcome to the Mazda CX-50.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
One of the personal touches on the uniform is the gray, making it look like it's the old wool.
The great thing about the Birmingham Black Barons uniforms, very simple in regards to the triangle B and the block lettering for Birmingham across the chest.
This is something that's a little bit more geared towards the
and free nicotine gum, patches, and lozenges. Because quitting tobacco with a little extra help is more successful than quitting cold turkey. Quit like a Mainer. Enroll online at MaineQuitLink.com or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Bottom of the 9th inning in Portland, the Sea Dogs trailing 12-7 behind the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Connor Larkin on the mound for another inning of work. He will face Drew Earhart, Will Turner, and Tyler McDonough. Portland with 12 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. New Hampshire 12 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. Portland with 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors.
Comeback starts now, Emma.
First pitch to Earhart, misses outside for ball 1. I mean, they've been chipping away at this lead. And you've seen some Sea Dogs adjust their at-bats. 1-0. Swing, and Earhart puts it on the ground, third base side. Keys charges in, throws across the diamond, and Earhart is retired 5-3. That brings up Will Turner. And then you see guys like Will Turner who have had a good night at the plate, multi-hit night. Had a leadoff walk in the second inning, scored one of the 2 runs in that inning.
More of the offense and the plate discipline has absolutely been there today for the Sea Dogs.
Yeah, there's definitely some positives. I mean, this will go down as another tough loss as a first pitch to Turner misses low and outside for ball 1, unless Turner can spark the rally here, but definitely some positive takeaways. Larkin sets. 1-0. Misses low and outside for ball 2.
It's the second game of this short season so far that the Sea Dogs have kind of it's been over before it started even. 8 runs in the first inning in Game 1 against Somerset. 10 runs in the second inning here in Game 3 against New Hampshire. Fight back a little bit.
Now Turner drills it into right center field. Sprinting over is the center fielder Munguia, and he tracks it down for out number 2.
But they just can't get the breaks to go their way sometimes. As with that hit from Turner, which looked like it was tracking towards the cap, and instead, great play made in the outfield by Munguia.
Now Tyler McDonough comes to the plate. And I think, too, Epi and the coaching staff are seeing some of these guys for the first time since spring training and trying to get an idea of who they want to go to in the bullpen, how they maybe want to structure an ideal game pitching-wise, as the first pitch is a called strike to McDonough. And then the lineup as well. It's changed each of the last 3 games for Portland. So Epi's just trying to figure out the team he has. Here's the 0-1. And it's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Portland down to their final strike here. In the bottom of the 9th inning, they trail 12-7. Time is called. McDonough steps out. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch misses low for ball 1. Larkin readies. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. McDonough goes down on strikes for the final out of the ball game. That's the final 12-7. Portland drops the first game of the series to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. We will take a break and have your post-game show on the other side of it. Sea Dogs Radio Network, presented by Verizon.